Warning! The following podcast contains foul language, politically incorrect comments and humor, erotic content, and Australians. Listener discretion is advised. It's a bit shit. 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 It's shit. It's a bit shit. It's a bit shit. It's fucking garbage. It's a bit shit. It's a bit shit. Welcome to another episode of It's a Bit Shit. I am Sam, and joining me are my co-hosts Aaron and Peter. How are you, gentlemen?
Very good, very good.
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right.
You a rock up?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Sick. And our guest this evening, Ryan. How are you, Ryan?
Yeah, good.
That's amazing, Ryan. Thank you for joining us.
And no one's hears from Ryan again. He's like, I'm good.
I think I'm okay.
Sam put on a big boy voice.
Is this like public speaking?
It's just like public speaking,
Oh, no.
Ryan.
Except for you choose not to wear pants. It just doesn't come off like halfway through and then you wake up in a hot sweat. You're going to be pantsless in a hot sweat right here.
That's about right, yeah.
No one's going to object.
Take them pants off, big boy.
Best
Peter,
I hope
get
you
your hands
them
off him. He's a guest. Jesus Christ.
That's why I figured why you put them closer to me.
All right. The film Predator. Pete, do you just want to play some tunes for me? Just something triumphant over that keyboard, just so I can feel a little bit more inspired as I read this out.
Oh, Peter.
Releasing in 1987, Predator offered the juiciest fucking cum shot of testosterone to all who prayed to be bukkakied by a bunch of strong boys. With a budget of $15 million, the film made mad bank, grossing $98 million on its initial run, and went on to spawn numerous sequels, action figures, comics, video games, and novels. Though the first round of reviews were mostly negative, that didn't sway the he-bros and she-bros from slapping some mud on and heading to the cinema to root for Arnie and his company of muscles as they defend planet America from that damned alien. But despite all of that, the sheer amount of baby oil and testosterone in this film has left our bodies slippery and our testicles tiny. So come with us now as we journey deep into the Central American rainforest to tell you why the Predator is a bit shit. That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
That was majestic.
Yeah,
that
fucking
fade out.
fantastic. The music definitely makes it better. I'm just going to do that every time now. Saves me having to write stupid songs for him. You can just do it. All right. So, to get started, I think the best place to start is where my normal page of questions are. Give me a second, guys. Is, do we like it? Do we not like it? And why? Aaron, let's start with you. No. Aaron, do you like the film or do you not like the film?
Look.
Just in general.
Look, for the most part, yes. I do like the film. I don't like Jesse Ventura. Hate him with a passion.
So he's sort of like the Timmy from Jurassic Park.
He's Timmy from Jurassic Park,
Excellent.
but with like, I guess I will admit, a little bit more muscle.
Like Timmy has more muscle or Jesse Ventura?
No, I have to. I ain't here to trick a bitch. Versus Jesse Ventura as an ex-Navy SEAL and a wrestler in WWF back in the day. He will have a little bit more muscle than 11-year-old Timmy from Jurassic Park.
Is that your beef with him though? That he was in WWF? Like,
Yeah, that's the main reason I dislike him.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Was he like the rival to like whoever your favorite?
No, he was
wrestler
just an arrogant prick. And even as like 12-year-old me, I'm like, I don't like that guy.
He seems to like himself.
Yeah, he called himself the Body.
That's amazing.
So yeah, like the movie's great, but like every scene that he's in, I just want to just die a little bit on the
Wait,
inside.
what did he get into politics? Isn't he like the Minnesotan?
He was
something?
Minnesota, the governor.
The governor?
No, governor? Yeah, of Minnesota. In
Whoa.
like,
They had two governors in that film.
yeah. Actually, they had almost three. One of the other guys tried to for Kentucky, I think, but he didn't get through.
That's absolutely fucking bullshit.
If they all became governors, you could change the title of the film to The Governors?
Yeah.
Nah, it's still a predator
Why not?
because they're predators.
Fair enough. Like sexual?
No, like just because they're government workers.
Oh, right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
Not
That
everything
still makes sense.
Not
but
everything's
yeah,
sexual,
gotcha.
Samuel.
Sorry.
Most things. But yeah, no, I like the movie.
Excellent. Peter, do you like the film?
I do. I actually like the film. It's hilarious. It's a lot of nostalgia. There's so many dumb quotes from it. I don't have any.
I'm just going to stop you 2 seconds. You like the film for how ridiculous it is?
Yes,
Thank you.
definitely.
Cool.
I have no beef with the sexual Tyrannosaurus, which is the body. Thank you very much.
You get your chewing tobacco every day.
Yeah.
What you're saying is you have no problem with the body of the sexual Tyrannosaurus?
That's right.
Excellent.
As it growls at me. No, I think
Damn.
yeah.
All right, Pete.
Yeah. No, he made me feel things.
I bet he did.
No, I just think it's like one of those films that you just go back and watch. Like if you go back to like if you're having a sick day or something like that, and you put it on, you could just be happy in that nostalgic place. Like it's like one of those films, like the RoboCops, the Back to the Futures, those films that you've seen 1,000 fucking times, and they're terrible in their own little ways, but like they're so good.
Ryan?
Yeah, no, I really like the movie. Main reason why is I watched it pretty well, religiously as a kid. It's got a lot of nostalgic value for me. So yeah, that's all I can really say.
Predator raised me, damn
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Yeah.
That damn Predator raised me, boy.
It's how I learned to skin a man.
Well, actually, when I was a kid, my brother, he used to have a Arnold Schwarzenegger mask, and he always used to like. I don't know why he was just like always.
I swear Juzzy still has that Arnold Schwarzenegger
He does
mask,
have
yeah.
that Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah,
mask,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So he was always in any Arnie movie, but mainly Predator. He'd just say, "Oh, let's go play this in the backyard." Or
I think it's just really cute. Like someone talks to your mum and they're like, "What are your kids doing?" Like, "Oh, they're playing Predator," and they're trying to be like, "Oh shit, Steve from down the road's in the backyard." You don't live anywhere near a church. This is crazy.
I was just about to say, you see someone in the Arnold mask running away from like a priest. Like,
Get to the chopper.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Stick around.
wait, killing it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just ruined a lovely childhood.
No,
memory
that's
for you and your brother.
I enjoy this one more.
What about you, Sam? Sam, did you like it?
I fucking love it for the same reasons that you do, Peter. It's just ridiculous, over the top testosterone madness. It's so stupid.
You two
This is
agree
fun.
on almost everything. It's almost like there's just two people in this podcast and a guest, and it's me and like this weird mesh of two people.
It's because Peter and I have had each other's dicks inside of each other more than you and the three of us have.
Wow.
Our partners have to listen to this. They wouldn't be surprised.
They already knew this.
Pete's
What a
like,
fucking
Pete's like to his
surprise.
wife, like, "Oh, I'm going to Sam's for a podcast." Are you?
Are you?
Podcast is what you're calling it now. A podcast, huh?
How come every time you come back you're sore?
Yeah.
So you won't podcast with me, but you just go to your friend's house and podcast for hours, huh? Can't even podcast for more than 10 minutes. Like, what the hell?
You seem to spend all night podcasting with Sam. Yeah.
I can't even get you to open up the podcast, let alone let me listen to it. God. It's a euphemism for sex.
This isn't when we lose that 8th listener that we just got. Like,
I think we're still at 8 though. Like, I'm glad that we're still like, I know it might be on 7 now, but like the eight listeners are still stuck around.
yeah.
So I'm going to throw some new questions out there because we build as we grow and we learn and things like that. So one new question that I have is, what good has the film done? As in, like, what has its impact on like popular culture and stuff been?
Well, it's obviously helped young men like feel like they're strong, mature men, right? Like that's what that feels.
You want to go to gym? Don't go to gym. Watch Predator.
I really feel it's helped the Catholic Church a lot because for a while...
Really put Predator to the new light?
It changes the image of predators.
wait, when they say that he's a predator, they think, what?
Yeah, now everyone's thinking, they're just like, great, a priest. They're just like, you mean the movie? And they're like, sure.
That's why I got that the new one, the latest one that came out called Predators.
Predators, and it's just a bunch of priests. I mean, predators.
I think they call it a clergy, don't they? Like,
Alien vs. Predator's going to be a weird one. It's just like Mexican priests.
Mexicans versus priests.
Yeah.
Damn Mexicans.
They're the only one that can like handle the job because like Americans just keep palming all their work over to Mexico.
Yeah.
So they're probably like the most qualified for the job.
That is true. Yeah.
They've already got the power tools.
There's got to climb an imaginary wall to get there to fight them.
Oh, apparently it's not difficult.
Pete, do you have any ideas of pop culture influences apart from like helping the Catholic Church?
Yeah, that's mine. You can't use that one.
Oh shit! And I had all that going on too. I mean, yeah, I guess like, fucking hell, you've ruined me for that.
I think Aaron won that one.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, I guess pop culture wise, like, as it's such a quotable film, like that's affected pop culture. You can like run off the "get to the chopper" is literally one of Arnie's favorite lines of any film he's done, and I'm sure that those little tiny things that he's been involved in, which is built on more pop culture, adds to continuously. And do you know what? They're like the director, man. He's done some pretty heavy films. So
I think he did Die Hard as well.
Die Hard. He did. Did he do Lethal Weapon?
I know that the writer of this wrote for the Lethal Weapon, but he very well could have done Lethal Weapon as well.
Oh no, was that Shane Black?
Glasses.
Yeah.
He wrote.
He was in
wrote,
it. That's means
He
something.
wrote Lethal
right?
Weapon. So anyone who can somehow get Mel Gibson and Danny Glover like in the same rooms already.
And Danny Glover was in a Predators movie.
Yeah, second one.
Number two.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which,
There we
by the
go.
way, I was expecting watching this first one. I was like, I can't wait for Danny Glover to come in. And he never did.
Gets to the end, you're like, I fucking could have sworn.
Yes, like what kind of weird ass fever dream am I like? Danny Glover's in it.
Maybe it also helped people think that you can shave without shaving cream and just anywhere. Like, I don't know. Like that's
Mac. Yeah. The serial killer, not serial killer.
What does the fan base look like?
Not like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Do you reckon they're just fucking neckbeards?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's mostly children. Like, let's be real here. When did we all watch this movie?
Yeah, I'd agree
I mean,
with
it
that.
came out in 87. That's a year before I was born.
Hang on a second. Are we the fans?
Yeah, we are the fans.
we are
Yeah,
the fans,
they look
yeah.
like us. So yes, neckbeards are in a trend.
Look at the man
Hang on
in
a
the
second.
mirror.
Excuse me. Ryan has no facial hair.
It's coming back. It just
Hey guys,
job
it will
interview,
be
guys.
any
Leave me
day
alone.
now.
I had to be an adult for like 2 days, and now I'm gonna grow it back.
I thought adults had beards.
Well, yeah, okay. Had to be a man baby for 2 days.
All right, let's move on to the meat. It's time to talk about why this film's a bit shit.
There's no reasons at all. It's just it's the best.
Look, we've implemented a new list system to try and make this a little bit easier, so that I don't just read out every single thing that's wrong with the film. and no
Wait,
one
Sam,
else has
that's
a
never
chance to say
happened.
anything.
Please.
We don't have law or order in this. It's just a hot mess that you have to edit into something that's semi-coherent.
Yay! All right, so I think, look, Peter and I both sort of, first thing I touched on was that they would not be able to talk to each other or anything in that helicopter, but also all the dumb shit that they're doing in that helicopter at the start of the film.
It's so good. So good. Like, what, old mate's shaving again?
That's when Mac first looks like a serial killer. He's just there, just staring. He doesn't blink at all, just eyes wide open, just shaving like, I can't wait to skin my first person. Like, he creepy as fuck.
Arnie's smoking on there as well.
You're just running a cigar. Yeah.
Yeah, just running a cigar. Like, apparently when they filmed that, they had to like add the light of the...
Yeah, they wouldn't let him light up
Yeah.
in the actual helicopter. So
Because
they
real life is like, no, that's fucking dumb. Like, no.
we don't want that. So then they had
Wait,
to like
they were
edit.
actually in a helicopter in that scene?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
See, for that scene itself, I thought for that little tidbit of information, I thought that was when they landed and he was getting out of the helicopter.
That makes
He
more
was sitting in the
sense.
back,
Yeah.
and he had. That's what I thought that they were talking about with that scene.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. I don't think that would have been in the scene where they're all talking to each other and can clearly hear each other in the helicopter.
While getting hot
because
boxed
that would
by a
have been-
cigar.
Yeah. And there's music playing like loudly.
You'd barely even be able to hear the music. Like, that's the whole thing. But when you're in a helicopter,
Yeah.
you have the headphones
Yeah.
on, you have the microphone,
Little
so you
Richard's
can talk to each
perfect
other and shit.
lyrics
Maybe
would
he's
just
got,
be
like-
nothing.
Like, I don't know, the stereo equivalent of Beats. I don't know, like...
Look, I mean, if we're being dicks, we could talk about the glorification of smoking in the film. Like, it's like smoking is cool in the whole film.
Yeah, that's because Arnie's smoking.
Yeah. Just punching cigars as well. Like, how many kids saw Predator and were like, fuck yeah. I'm gonna smoke a cigar.
I felt like that after watching it today.
Ryan's like, I just fucking
I've
opened
never
up my pack of Cubans and away I went.
Apparently that film actually got Carl Weathers addicted to smoking cigars as well because Arnie just kept on giving him cigars.
And then he gave him a box at the end of filming as well. So he's just like, there you go.
He said something like, it took me 20 years to quit that or something like that. Shame on you, Arnie.
He's like, oh no, I'm a football player. I don't do that. And then Arnie's like, gone.
Come on, buddy.
If anyone hasn't seen the best video on YouTube, type in Arnold Schwarzenegger in Rio de Janeiro or Brazil.
Yep.
And it will be the best 5.5 minutes you'll ever spend on YouTube.
Sensitivity warning: if you prefer to be called things that don't offend you, you may not like this video.
Oh yeah, trigger warning for sure.
Trigger warning for
sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But you did make a good point that if he's managed to not get cancelled after doing that,
He's invincible.
yeah.
Imagine we were the ones that brought this video to light.
Oh, dude, Arnold Schwarzenegger gets cancelled.
That'd be yuck.
4 Australian boys have cancelled Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Fucking media latch onto anything.
Yeah.
He'll never
Took
let us
what we
ride-
said out of context.
He'll never
Yeah,
let us
he
ride in his
wasn't.
tank.
He wasn't making her suck on a carrot like a penis. He was,
Yeah,
he was trying
no.
to teach her English.
Did anybody like all the scenes where they actually had to act to at the start before it was just like, I'm shooting a gun. Like before all of that, it was Arnie actually had to act and he had to have some reactions. And they were really fucking bad. There's one where like he raises an eyebrow.
Yeah,
and it's
Arnie's
just like-
thinking face is the best. Like, I'm thinking now. Like,
That's also
eyebrows
me
up.
taking a dump face. I'm just like, oh, that's my Arnie thinking face is me taking a shit. little information for you guys. Some truth bombs.
I can sleep well tonight, I reckon.
I reckon I probably can too.
Yeah.
Nice. They kicked a real bird.
I was gonna ask about that. I did not look that up whether they did or not.
They definitely did. That was a real bird.
Yeah, and then there was like
Cancelled.
a scorpion
Cancelled.
that they stabbed
Cancelled.
as well.
Was that a real scorpion though?
I don't know. It was
I know
moving.
How
Yeah,
gangster
like-
do you have to be to stab someone and not get them, but get the fucking scorpion on them? Like,
Yeah.
I guess probably like bulletproof vest or like movie magic, witchcraft, cinema witchcraft. I'm going to put that too. Movie magic, lame. Cinema witchcraft, sexy,
Yeah.
spicy. Yeah, I like that.
I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
he booted that bird good.
They did a proper kick on that bird.
I didn't even see that. I had to when I was going through the show notes, I was like, what?
Yeah, it was it was a vulture, wasn't it, or something?
There was a crow or something. I don't
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
know. Yeah, but they proper boot that bird. I was
Yeah.
like,
Wait,
they're
87
cancelled.
though. It was 87. Wasn't that before the act of not being allowed to hurt
Kick a bird in
animals
the face?
Film?
Well, I didn't see the declaration at the end that said
Yeah.
no
I-
animals were harmed. They
I
were
also
all
didn't
harmed.
check though.
They just mowed that forest down with that minigun in real life.
So even fucking get started on that.
the
serious
minigun
shit.
that's supposed to usually attached to a helicopter, and they're like, no, we can just get.
Have you not heard? He's called the body, dude. That body can hold anything up.
It's just so weird that his arsehole's like where his chin is. Jesus Christ.
Why such little fucking face paint?
Oh, okay. So it really annoyed me when they get the job, they get dropped into the meat grinder and they've just got 4 tiny little lines on their face we're hidden in the jungle. That annoyed the shit out of me. Is it a contrast thing for when Arnie gets bukkakied with mud? So now you really can't see him, or were they just yeah, we're cool because we have 4 black lines on our face?
There's a real bukkake trend in this episode, so I'll throw that out there.
There will be.
There should be a counter, the little ding every time you say it.
Every time we say bukkake.
That's not just an episode thing. That's going to be a seasonal thing.
When you reach 100 bukkakis.
We did it, guys. We hit 100 books.
I like how you refrained just from saying it properly so it didn't get a ting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saving us there.
You
bro.
ruined it.
I'm going to take that, censor.
You're just stretching it out longer.
I'm going to use this next segment as an opportunity. Next segment, this is the next piece, is an opportunity for all of us to just shit on Jesse Ventura.
Oh my
so
God.
I'm going to start because I know how much you have to say. All right, he looks like the Hollywood version of what Australians look like in the 80s. Like straight up, he looks exactly like.
Buff as fuck.
That's an Australian. Like he had the fucking Akubra on with the little tilted thing, the mustache, the everything. It was just
It's either that or Australians think that like we look like Texas people, like just like muscly dudes from Texas.
I felt-
that's clearly Australian.
I felt he was like more crocodile Dundee than redneck though.
A little bit too much hair yarn.
Yeah, little hair yarn.
Yeah, he
I
did
thought
also
putting
have
on
he did
accents,
get
we could
like
just say it.
what we say. Yeah. We have a bit of a foul mouth.
And he has quite the foul mouth in this film.
Yeah. Some might call him a slack-jawed something or other.
That's true. Some might call him a slack-jawed pile of sticks.
fuck's sake.
Legally, we could say that.
We can say that. One of your comments here, Aaron, is fuck Jesse Ventura.
Yes.
So I'm just going to let you
stand
go
by
on
that.
your rant from this point onwards. Go.
See, now that I'm put on the spot, like I'm just like,
He's not such a bad guy.
Jesse Ventura spitting in his chewing tobacco.
oh
out.
yes, okay, all right. So that really, I think that's just more of like a hygiene thing as well. Like, but he's just like he keeps spitting his chewing tobacco everywhere, like it's fine. And I think on the show notes I wrote something like, you just know that if he was with a woman, he wouldn't let her swallow. Like he wouldn't let her spit it. It'd be like swallow, or like you're going to be covered in like domestic violence. Like that's going to be like, he's just an angry dude.
He's called a sexual tyrannosaurus, bro.
Except he's got bigger arms.
Yeah.
Like, and you know he's going to use him. He's just going to beat down. I just don't like him as a person. And I think it's from WWF days or WWE, depending on the people. I guess you could say the sexual tyrannosaurus has put a bad taste in my mouth and he wouldn't let me spit it out.
One of the notes I had was like, isn't like it's supposed to be like somewhat of a covert op? Like, isn't they supposed to like sneak in, save the
And he's got a
hostages?
minigun.
Well, not even that, but like there's that whole scene where they're like sneaking up to the camp and like they've just not added Foley for the dudes walking up so that they sound silent, but they're in like full army kit. He's got a fucking minigun. Like there's no way they're silent while walking through the fucking jungle.
It's just like
it's just not
bullets,
happening.
Bullet chains, just like jinging it. They're just like,
Well, fuck, Santa's coming.
I can't hear a thing. Oh, a bird stabbed in the jugular.
It's like I just don't buy that at all. It was one of those things I was watching. I was like, I don't believe this at all. Like, there's no way these dudes are sneaking.
Yeah, I've done
In
my
full
fair
kit
share
and
of
everything.
bushwalks. Like, there is no way. You're not hearing, like...
Sometimes they weren't even bushwalking. Sometimes they were bush crawling. All right,
Yeah.
that's how you know it's extra stealth. They're just like, "Hey guys, we got to be quiet. Now we're snakes," and you see them just like army slithering more than anything.
You see,
like,
this is what takes them from being operatives to special operatives.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's that little extra from ordinary to extraordinary. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, why bring a minigun?
to fuck shit up, bro.
Covert minigun.
Fucking what?
Covertly removed from the side of a helicopter to covertly spin less than it does on the actual helicopter, so he can have, like, you know, a cool bullet gun thing. Fuck Jesse Ventura. Fuck the body.
We all made comment on this. They're trying to save the hostages, but they just fucking nuke the camp. Holy shit.
What happened to the hostages? They've been shot. By who? Doesn't say a thing.
Just one of the many fucking minigun bullets just cut in half.
It could have even happened from, I don't know, the fucking, like, Irish firebomb that Arnie makes with the fucking car.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. He's like, hey, don't worry, guys, I've got an idea. Bomb, back of a ute, push towards, like, a bunch of guys. Surely there's going to be some, like, people just sitting there like, oh, look, we'll feed some of these fucking prisoners. Fucking bang.
Well, the first guy that gets shot, like when you see them, when they're like watching him and he gets executed next to like 14,000 fucking bags of rice. Like, they can afford to feed one of the cunts.
Yeah,
For sure.
I reckon so.
I fucked you up, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
They
Now I
really,
know how you feel.
they really zoomed in on Arnie when he was lifting the truck as well. They're just
Yeah,
like,
that's
look, he's lifting the truck.
That's a real, like, show of testosterone there. It's like, bro, you want your balls to shrink and you want your increase, like, you want to have an increased rate of having increased chance of having a heart attack?
Yeah. They just
Watch this
zoom
scene.
in and he's just there lifting this truck and he's like at full mast just lifting the truck.
It's true.
There were a lot of men at full mast
Yeah.
as he lifted that truck.
I'm gonna lie, I finished watching Predator. I wanked. Like, I just...
Yeah.
I was just so
No hand, free hand.
Yeah,
There's no-
I like used my mind to jerk myself off.
You just tensed your arms like you were going Super Saiyan, and then you were just like,
All the names
was
just hear him
just
Super
piddly.
Saiyan screaming like
just drop
and just crying.
Well, you guys don't? That's just me? Oh, my bad.
Where do I put this?
So speaking more into the scene at the camp, let's break that shit down because the way that scene was shot was so hard to follow. It was so poorly shot. It was literally like guy shooting gun, switch to scene, guy dying. Everything was action reaction, and it was just like it was really poorly done. Like it was like let's just blow a bunch of shit up and film it, and then we'll just tie it all together. They didn't actually have like any idea of what they were doing as they were doing that. It's just like if we blow it all up, we were good.
It's called saving people, Sam.
Which they saved one person,
And made him a prisoner.
the woman.
Yeah.
It's just like, because every one of these, they're like, I'm actually quite surprised that she didn't fall in love with him. Because every single
Actually,
one of these
two
movies.
things: she didn't fall in love with him, and her nipples didn't come through her t-shirt at all.
Oh, no, they did.
Oh, they did?
Oh,
They
did.
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you two
You
know.
got such an eye for this, Alan. You got such an eye for
They
this.
did the whole
eh?
thing was just sitting down. There's like a heap of side boob.
Yeah, there was some side boob, and there was
serious?
some nip.
Yeah.
The nip counter guys were at 2.
And they were both on her.
This is a podcast for all genders.
Hey,
the
we
hell
haven't
did that-
gotten to Arnie and his nips yet,
Oh,
which
yeah.
are out quite a few times. Nip count at 4.
With Carl Weathers as well.
Nip count at 5.
just a
Yeah, I don't think you see both of them because he's wearing that singlet. You definitely see his abs / gunt. Like have you seen like some parts he's like he's got like a big gut, and then the next thing he's like, I got a tense, and then he's got abs.
I did not either.
I definitely
it's just
noticed
a
that. I was
hernia,
like,
bro.
man, he was ripped before, and then he's just got like this big gut, and I'm like, what the fuck happened? And then it was like ripped again. I was like, he's breathing.
What, like 6 hernias?
he's just not in good health. That arm wrestle with Arnie at the beginning of the movies just fucked him for the rest of it. They were like, I can't keep doing this. I've got 6 hernias now. Hey, they look like abs. Let's do a shirtless scene.
I can't believe we didn't spend more time speaking about that. So let's just really quickly introduce
let's,
that scene.
let's go back. Yeah, let's go.
Oh,
And then
Boom. Such a memeable fucking thing. That meme is just forever.
but Pete, doesn't it make you feel like you're finally a man?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's how I usually like shake my friends' hands. Like Sam, you come around and just fucking bam.
Yeah.
Then we just like arm wrestle in the air because that fucking makes sense.
and then you're just like, too busy pushing pencils.
What's wrong? CIA got you pushing pencils.
Man, we all fucking suck at Arnie accents.
Yeah, I just want everyone to know that I specifically am not very good.
I still think you're better than the
Arnie
rest of us,
voices.
which is saying a lot.
And I just want everyone to keep in mind how bad I am at Arnie voices
I can't wait.
for later on.
I can't wait.
All right, first person to die is the writer.
Yeah.
The guy they hired literally just to help write the film.
Yeah.
The guy with the glasses.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't want to do it. He just wanted to be an actor in it.
Yeah.
It's, what's it called? Shane Black.
Oh, okay.
What was his name in it? Like Hawk or Hawkeye or
Oh,
Freebird or
Hawkins or Pancho?
Hawkins.
I've got your notes here saying you couldn't
Yes.
tell the two dudes apart.
I can't tell them
Hawkins
apart.
and Pancho. One had glasses. One makes jokes about his girlfriend's vagina. I'm not sure who
that was the
who.
same guy.
Yeah. It took me so long to figure that out.
They were different people.
No, well, wasn't it?
No,
No, it's not two people with glasses.
Like glasses guy and my girlfriend's vagina guy is the same dude.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
confused.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I confused him
With the guy
and
who can speak
Poncho,
Spanish.
the guy who speaks Spanish
Yeah, yeah,
and got
yeah.
like the big wood in his chest. I confused those two dudes. Like I never saw them in the same scene, and I was like, "Why the fuck is this cunt wearing glasses again?"
Oh man.
And I thought like the lighting was shitty because like with that when they filmed this, they got the wrong film for some of it, which is why some of it looks
Grainy
grainier.
as fuck.
And
yeah.
I just thought that's what was happening, and I was just like, "Oh man, this film's shit! Like he's gotten wide as fuck."
Well, I just love that just Sam, when you're talking about the glasses guy and the guy that tells jokes, that you fully gaslit Pete into thinking that they were two different people.
Because I wouldn't have known. Like, just wouldn't have known.
And my other note, just on Poncho, because I don't think I'll ever talk to him again because I keep confusing him. Him and Billy, they definitely should have had a name swap. Can I just say that? Because Billy's supposed to be like
Indian.
a Native American like tracker.
Sorry, Indian is inappropriate.
Yeah, a Native American tracker.
Yeah.
And the other guy's named Poncho. And I was like, get fucked. Like, someone was like, we should change their names. It'll be funnier.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this like 34 years later going, their names should be different. I should swap names. It doesn't make sense.
You're looking for the stereotypes, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to
I
profile.
just called him the nerdy guy. Just throwing that out there.
I think he was the comms guy. He's the guy who like kept on like, there's going to be gorillas everywhere. And they didn't say fucking gorilla at all in the entire film. But
Yeah, I was like thinking like sick, it's King Kong, like we're gonna get some fucking apes, some fucking
Fuck's sake,
primates. It's gonna be a good fucking
apes.
film.
You could go
No
the complete
fucking gorillas
opposite
throughout the
direction
whole
of
fucking
gorilla.
thing.
There's got to be gorillas in this. And you're like, fuck yeah, monkeys and gorillas. And they're just like, you know what, fuck it. They actually almost got a monkey in the movie, by the way.
yeah, I read
'Cause
that.
That's Aaron. Why don't you tell us this wonderful story?
Yeah.
Okay, so before they got the gentleman to play Predator, they had Jean-Claude Van Damme in a red suit so they could like edit him out. But before Jean-Claude Van Damme, they originally wanted a monkey in the red suit so it could like swing across the trees and stuff.
That's what I read, yeah.
But the monkey, when they finally got it in the red suit, was too embarrassed.
Yeah.
So it just hid from everybody.
Just flung shit at everyone.
And then they were like, well, this monkey doesn't work. Surely there's something better. And then they got Jean-Claude Van Damme straight off the boat or plane or whatever. And he was like, fuck yeah, I can't wait to be in an action movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is going to be the best thing ever. And then like he's in wardrobe putting on this red fucking like...
Well, they had the other thing of it
Full-bodied
as well. He
suit.
looked like a duck or something. Like
Yeah, he's like a
dog.
duck cockroach.
Yeah.
It's
And-
the most ridiculous thing in the world. It is fucking hilarious.
I haven't seen the original suit.
Oh, it's bad.
Aaron, can you pull that bad boy up?
Yeah, I can
yeah,
absolutely
pull
do
that up. Pull that up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it was it was way too short too. Like everyone was like 6 foot something, and like there's this little predator. Like
Well, that's the thing. Like the guy who plays Predator 7'2", everyone else is like 7'6", 7'8", and he was like 5'7" or something like ridiculous like that. So Jean-Claude Van Damme was like, he was getting into his red suit for the first time, and he was like, "What the fuck? I look like a superhero. Why am I wearing this?" And all the people trying to get in the suits like, "Do you know what you're doing? Like, we're gonna like edit you out, and we're gonna put something like another creature or CG the background," and that pissed him off even more.
well, you know why they used red, right?
Because it's the opposite of green.
Yeah. So when they filmed it twice on top of each other.
Yeah, 30% wider from memory.
Yeah. So it made that optical effect, which
Fucked me off. I hated it.
yeah. How good is the camouflage when you can just see the cunt right there?
Yeah. Well, that looks 30% wider than it should.
Technically, like the Marine should have been better camouflaged than the Predator.
They're just as bad as each other.
Yeah, they had
30%
four.
wider
They
than
had
what it
four
should. That's what
little black
everyone's been
lines
saying
on their
about Tom
face. They were
Morello.
almost invisible.
I know we're talking about number one, but like I watched this. I remember watching a documentary on number two, and how like in number two the Predator gets his arm cut off, and the actual actor that they got was missing an arm. They hired an actor that was missing an arm.
They're
They
like,
didn't
what
just
a
edit it out.
coincidence.
Yeah, they just look for it. There's this one guy that's what he does. He's an actor, as a missing arm actor.
Wait, he's not the guy who killed the fugitive's wife too, is it?
I don't know.
Because he is a tall motherfucker as well.
Yeah, because this guy's big. Like he's huge, and yeah, he's just missing an arm. Yeah, he plays roles with that. Yeah.
Just to quickly finish off my story before we move on to something else, 'cause I can see Sam getting antsy in the corner of my eye.
He just needs to shit.
He got really pissy that he wasn't going to be in it. So then he ended up quitting like 3 days later. They got another person to come in and redesign the whole suit again for $1.5 million, which was double the amount they paid for the weird duck cockroach thing.
It's more than 10% of the cost of the movie
Yeah.
gone on fucking
A
outfits.
second edit of the suit.
Yeah.
And then they made it 8'2", say ridiculously tall, 200 pounds. He had to be held up via a crane, and every time you see him, like the Predator, on a tree, the tree's made of concrete and because he was just so heavy.
Yeah, just bow the friggin' branch and
Yes.
snap it. Just watch you fling out of a tree.
But all of the scenes with the camouflage is, well, the one where he's like grabbed the body and ran into the jungle, that's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's amazing.
He thought he was going to be in a movie, fight Arnold Schwarzenegger, and just skyrocket his career. And then he finds out that he's getting CGI'd out of it. He's not actually going to be fighting Arnie, and it's an uncredited role. He quit.
Yeah.
And like 45 years later,
I mean,
he gets to be in a film with him.
I'm
so.
sorry, but why the fuck wouldn't you quit if you're in an uncredited role as a Predator? Like,
Money's money.
It makes sense to me as to why he would quit for what he was going for.
Yeah, and also like everyone complained like how difficult it was because like there's leeches and there's poisonous snakes and scorpions and like no one had a good time filming this.
And
the
the
water
body.
that Arnie's in when he's fighting the Predator apparently was just like full of leeches, and he got so cold filming this they had to keep cutting and trying to warm him up. But it was at nighttime, so all the mud that was on him just kept drying and it just became cold, and he had like heat blankets and shit just weren't doing anything.
Yeah, they had the heat lamps and shit around him.
Yeah, hated it.
Jesus Christ. I was going to say where I started this whole thing was with talking about the nerdy guy, and then we fell well off track, which is what we tend to do, which is fine.
Tangent.
I mean, yeah, nerds.
I just find it really, really like almost adorable that when the nerdy guy's like strung up in the tree, his skin and shit isn't ripped up or anything. Like he's got the hole in his chest that he had, but like it's almost like the Predator's like gently taken off his clothes and shit like that. And so I just have this image in my head of like the Predator getting him and just like nicely undoing his t-shirt and like putting it and folding it all and putting it aside, then picking him up and running him up a tree and stringing him up.
It's because he wasn't a good warrior. Yeah. He wasn't a good warrior, so he doesn't get a warrior's death. He gets
He gets
a
your gonads hanging in the
slack-jawed
wind.
bundle of sticks death. That's what.
Jesus fuck. All right.
Sam, you gonna mark that?
What do you mean? You're talking about the bundle of sticks?
I'm just gonna keep pushing this sensor as far as I can to like, all right, dude, we can't have you
You
on
got to
here.
shut the fuck up.
I think we probably all commented on this one after he gets taken and Mac's like, oh, I see him, and they picks up Jesse Ventura dies. He picks up the
Yes.
minigun and they just blast into the fucking forest. Every single gun at that point that isn't a minigun has unlimited clip.
Yeah, I think I
Not
wrote like
unlimited ammo,
IDKFA, I
unlimited
think.
clip.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
just like the clip doesn't end on it. All the guns last as long as the minigun does.
They just punched in some cheats, up, down, left, right, A, B, start, and they were just like, just like unlimited.
But I just love it. Everyone's head just perked up. Gun firing. I need to go shoot mine. And they just ran over there.
Have you ever like been like when you were a kid?
Such like a dumb crowd mentality. Like when you're at school and kids are in a fight. Go on, there's a fight.
And then like someone bumps you, and then you're like, oh, I guess we're fighting now. And then like you start fighting.
We're enemies.
Like kids with water guns, like one kid has a water gun with another one, then like all kids seem to just pull him out of like nowhere, and they're like, what the hell's going on here? The exact same thing, but for adults.
Yep.
Ours make boom sounds though.
I actually wrote as one of my things, like with the guns, like the amount of rounds that minigun would have used, because I think it's meant to shoot like 300 bullets every 40 seconds or something. I can't remember the math on it, but like the amount of unlimited ammo, like they'd just be tripping over like casings, like gun casings.
They
and
had
stuff,
to
like-
they had to slow how many bullets that thing shot out by like 1/5.
Yeah, right.
So it was like apparently like trying to shoot a bullet from a chainsaw. I think Jesse Ventura, the body, had mentioned.
I did read a thing that said even when they shot the minigun, they all still had to clear out of the way because it was, even though it was firing blanks, they were still firing a minigun, and they had to all like they had to be like a distance or like a proper distance around it when they were shooting it, because it was still incredibly dangerous when they were shooting it.
Yeah, right.
Flicking casings and everything.
Yeah.
They'd be hot. So, yeah.
Well, they said they're designed to shoot to the ground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I mean, still, even stepping on that, you'd be like, oh, my foot.
The girl has no real reason for not speaking English because there's the translator there
It's
anyway.
a plot thing.
She doesn't have really a reason to be in the movie, though.
No, she doesn't at all.
They
Just
could have
to
just
get-
picked
No,
up
She
the
helps them make traps.
But she didn't even do a very good job of
It
that.
was just to get Glasses guy killed. That was it.
Yeah.
So
I think
only
it was
reason
just
to be in
because
there.
they were like, we need some side boob and some nip.
Yeah.
Nipples.
Was the late 80s.
So they're like, we just need a female for reasons.
There's so much testosterone, we have to balance it out. We're giving
Yeah.
the ladies a lot.
Yeah, hey, this
with
is something
Carl
for you,
Weathers,
ladies.
Jesse Ventura, and Arnold
Another
Schwarzenegger.
lady. And some ladies are like, yeah. And some are like, I'll just take the muscly men, please.
Is Arnie covered in mud the equivalent to blackface?
Sam, moments before. Fuck, I'm going to have to cut all this. Sam now. Is Arnold Schwarzenegger in blackface?
News report tomorrow. Cancelled Arnie and blackface.
I just want to talk about this for a minute because I'm still really pissed off that like season 3 episode whatever of Community, the Dungeons and Dragons episode of Community, where Chang dresses up as a dark elf with a fat
I thought it was because of Fat Neil and they were calling him fat.
No, it's because
It's
Chang's
because
he fucking
dresses
dark elf. A dark elf, which is blackface.
Okay, but see, he's dressing up as a dark-skinned person. It's not like Arnold Schwarzenegger was just like
a fictional character.
Yeah, but like I feel like there are people who definitely describe themselves as dark elves for one, but also Arnold Schwarzenegger's not like, oh, quick, I have to cover my mud like African American so the predator won't see me.
Yeah,
so
he did just cover himself in mud.
I feel like
and
that's
say,
an
"My
out
name's-"
there. He's just covering himself in mud.
Let's talk about Billy's final stand on the log.
Okay.
I wish we saw that, hey.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Why cut
it's
that?
Such a okay. I've written dropping all of his weapons and pulling out a knife to fight the predator on the log is a great way to take a character from who has been developed as like wise and aware and smart, and then to make the character fucking stupid. Like it completely betrays the character that they
Yeah,
built.
but he's got
And
high.
then the
It's
fact-
showing he's got higher testosterone than everyone else.
I thought that whole thing happened was to show like, I know I'm going to die, but if I fight him one-on-one, like person to person, he's going to see I'm unarmed, he'll be unarmed, and then I can buy you some more time. Because I feel like in his head he was just like, this guy's got killer weapons, but is he as ripped as I am?
Well, he did say earlier in the movie, just before that, he's just like, we're all going to die. He'd come to that conclusion.
Yeah, he was like weirdly comfortable with that idea as well.
Yeah. So he was there buying time, I
And then
suppose.
like
So, yeah.
whichever one of the two dudes, I can't remember, is just like, but you're not afraid of anything.
Holy shit! I just worked out why they didn't show that scene.
Why?
Because they would have had to build a massive concrete log the size of
yeah.
that fucking river
And then, like-
to have the fucking suit on it.
Yeah, there you
makes
go.
sense.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
But instead, he just dips his like his blade in some red paint, and then just gets to do a little beautiful little line on himself.
And
That's
then
like
he just gets killed from behind.
Isn't that like a promise to the blade to say that you will draw blood?
Is it?
Yeah, like I know it's probably not like Native American, but like there's definitely
Promise to the blade. Such a fucking neckbeard thing.
I promise you, blade, you will be drawn blood.
Just gets a post-it note and writes an IOU to it.
Somewhere in the world, and it's probably now that I've said this out loud, not like Native Americans, but like there's like a weapon that they have that they would like prick their thumb on it to draw blood from themselves as like an offering of blood, like blood for blood. Like they're offering like someone's gonna die. Here's my blood. Now let's try and get this.
I hope they had their tetanus shot.
Yeah.
And just edit in a fact check later on this.
Fact check.
Bonus fact checking.
You just come in and say, this is true. Don't get any source or anything like that.
Yes, this is true. There is no source. I am the source.
It also kind of pissed me off that like
Secret source.
they could have taken the fight off the log because there's a scene with Arnie where the Predator's like, all right, you have no weapons. I guess I will just take off my armor and weapons as well. So like they definitely could have done it. It could have just
Like
like
Arnie had proven himself as a warrior by that point.
Yeah, and he was the main dog at that stage. Like,
And you're saying Billy, the not poncho, is less of a man? He was the only one that could like that knew some shit was wrong.
Yeah, and he died for that.
And if Arnie took
We're
off
all
his
gonna
pants,
die
will the
here.
Predator take off his pants?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that later.
Fuck.
Is there a way to edit like a porn version of
It's just that,
Just a
like,
slap
through a
bass.
wah
It's just
pedal.
like, yeah.
Don't. There's definitely something there.
Yeah, sorry.
I think one thing we all made note of as well is that the Predator's plasma blast are like really inconsistent.
Yes.
Oh,
Because
man.
it like kills, fucking annihilates two people. It rips off Carl Weathers' arm, puts a hole in the other dude. Then it hits Arnie, and he's like, "Oh, just a scratch."
I've seen like a whole lot of contention like online about this, like people saying, "Oh no, it hit his gun and the gun took all the damage." It's like, yeah, but that would still fucking blow off his hands. Like the cunt's holding the gun. If it shoots the gun and puts holes through people, you'd just be Arnie running around with no arms. Like,
Your plasma, it gave me a boo boo.
Instead, he just takes like a little flesh wound, crawls through the mud a little bit.
Now my blood will get
And
your
then,
blood.
actually, Sam, this next part, like in the film, if we're going by like parts of the film, annoy me the most. So he crawls, tries to get away, falls down the cliff, right?
Fucking falls down some white water rafting rapids, man.
but
Like, damn, that's a waterfall.
The
you
stuntman
look at
broke
the
his
cut-
leg on that. The stuntman broke his leg on that jump.
Yeah, but did you see like? Okay, so it goes. He's falling. He's going to hit rocks. Then he magically teleports to a different fucking place to jump off. Turns to a fucking skinny dude with no arms. Like that's like clearly not Arnold Schwarzenegger, and then like lands just nicely in the water. That is so annoying. The first person of it like shows like, and you're dead. If you follow that camera down, it's just like,
You're forgetting the fact that it's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yes, but like where he's
He
meant
was
to be
the
landing.
last action hero, man.
I know, but if you look at where he's meant to be landing, it's like he's dead. That's it. And then he's just like materialized somewhere else.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
Really?
I didn't see that.
That
no.
annoys
I
the
was,
fuck out of me.
I was still,
No, I missed it. I actually missed it.
Oh,
I'm going
man,
to watch it
it-
again, though, and check it out.
I
next
was
time
still
do.
caught up on him getting shot and then crawling off in the thing and falling down. And I was like, is he going to come up with like blood? Like, I was still focused on his arm. So if he had like blood on his arm, whether he was going to be totally A-OK. And sure enough, he gets up and he is A-OK. Like, he is.
Yeah, he's got healing. He's got Terminator healing.
Because he's a true warrior.
He just sinks to the bottom.
Is there a Terminator vs. Predator out there?
There is definitely a Terminator versus Predator out there. There's probably also a Terminator fucks Predator out there as well. Trust me, the amount of shit we've found doing research for fan fiction for this show.
Speaking of, though, I did come across a fan fiction that was Terminator, Predator, and Tony Stark from the Marvel movies, which I really wanted to read until I saw that it was 250,000 words, and I was like, I don't have that much time.
Fuck me!
We can share that to our Facebook or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe.
Puts that much time into this
Maybe,
shit.
and it started with Pepper Potts, and I was like, nah.
nah, it's too straight. Like,
Where's the man fingering in this? No one's going to want to listen to me read that. Ugh. Gross.
All right, let's move on to the biggest hole in this whole film, right? We're talking about why this film sucks, or why it's a bit shit. I shouldn't say sucks. Why this film's a bit shit. Come on, bro.
Jesse
keep on brand,
Ventura.
cunt.
on
Jesus
brand,
Christ.
you dickhead.
Jesse fucking Ventura. Thank you so
The
much.
biggest
Jesse hole.
Ventura. It's that Arnold Schwarzenegger or Major Dutch Schaefer should be dead because mud does not conceal you from heat vision.
dickhead, it happens in the film, bro. That means it's real.
It doesn't.
But Predator's heat vision doesn't see mud.
All right, first of all, Predator's vision in itself is like a
bit
horrible
flawed.
acid trip, like
Yeah.
LSD gone bad.
Like, could you imagine that being your vision and being like, yeah, I'm going to hunt. Like, I can't see a thing.
Yeah, take your
Like-
visor off and it's just red.
Yeah.
What was that?
What the fuck? And the fact that like you can still see things, like it clearly shows he can still see things whether they're heat or not. Like he can still
Yeah.
make things.
He was
out.
right behind creeping on Arnie when he's in the not rape cave, which was kind of rapey. Like you could see like his like outline and stuff. And we're not taking Predator 2 into consideration where they have different modes they can view in. We're just taking Predator 1 with the knowledge that he has two, like helmet and otherwise.
Yeah. His beta vision.
Neckbeard movies, man, and their beta vision.
It completely destroys the film because it is supposed to be heat vision. It has been noted that it is heat vision that he sees, and it makes no sense because mud does not cover that up. And I did my research to make sure of it.
I actually read that it would, if it was really thick, wet mud, it would, but the moment it dries, it absorbs your body heat.
I saw something very similar to that, but it was like it would lower your body temperature,
but not make it invisible.
It would
to,
make you invisible to heat vision, so you would still stand out.
You'd still see an Arnie shape.
even if it's like really cold, instead of like a blue tinge, it's a black or a purple tinge.
That would rely on your entire body being covered. Like you would have to look like fucking like Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
you'd have to be Swamp Thing basically. It would literally rely on your
covered
entire
in
body
dripping.
doing it, and it just staying on you and not running down.
And as he's standing there, like covered behind the
hugging trees,
hugging the tree,
roots.
and he's standing there, and his eyes are just there. You'd see the fucking eyes.
Yeah.
Like, what? Does heat does not come out of eyes? Like,
So it's not even just like that one part where he's covered in mud and he's just like his eyes are wide open and very wide. Like his whole, that's sort of like the first thing I noticed. I was like, slapping music in the helicopter. Why is his eyes so wide?
Why isn't his eyes and teeth showing?
And just real quick to go back to the helicopter scene with the music, can I just say I do love the trope of like rock blues in every 80s action movie.
Yeah.
Like Little Richard. Hell yeah. Give me some of that. Credence.
we should write a whole script of something that just takes place in a helicopter with Creed's Clearwater playing in the background.
Credence.
What
Like-
year is Predator set in?
I assumed it would be
it's supposed to be
87
present
as well.
day. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Like present day then. Like
yeah.
there was...
Yeah. Actually,
Oh, no, sorry. I did read somewhere that Alien vs. Predator was 17 years before Predator 1, which doesn't make sense.
No, and not to mention that I was about to say Alien vs. Predator, the date that comes up in that, I saw it that exact day in the cinema. So it comes up, like 2000 and or whatever it was when the Alien vs. Predator came out.
did you get an achievement?
I wish, but maybe. I don't know. I haven't checked. Yeah, on the date. Yeah, I was actually. It was really like, oh, okay, it's one of those movies.
But you
where-
don't remember the date.
No, I didn't.
Likely story,
It's like
man.
September or something. Oh.
Look how easily
What do you
your
want me to- I'll
tower
get
of
Google.
cards fall.
If Aaron can
busted.
Google, I can Google.
Yeah, myth busted.
I'll look it up.
Right, it's like, fuck, I shouldn't have come here.
Hey, I'm gonna check. Like, he looks at his phone. Like, what date did I see this? Like,
Hey Siri,
did-
when did I go?
Just Google opening weekend and then be like, it was this date.
Yeah, because what was it? There was a date in the movie, and it was the exact date. 12th of August 2004, and I'm pretty sure it's the same date that comes up on the screen.
easily your tower of lies fall.
Man. Just come here to get accused.
Hey man, thanks for coming. We're gonna talk some shit. Just roll with it. You
Fact
piece of
check, you're
shit.
wrong.
okay, don't worry. Don't relax. You can't do anything wrong here.
When you leave, we will fact check you and add it in afterwards.
Mark it.
Yeah, and then you get all my audio recordings. You just get all my audio recordings and stick them together. I'm sorry, I'm wrong.
Don't even need to do that now. You're just giving it to us.
Just cut my whole explanation out and then add whatever afterwards and then put it in.
It's like, so, Brian, what did you think of the film?
Brian now.
I'm sorry. I'm wrong.
I did that.
I must leave now. That's it.
But yes, I do think it's bullshit about the mud.
Yeah, definitely.
Just depending on how you want to cut this, I'm like,
Yeah, no, the mud is bullshit.
mud is bullshit. I like
bit
playing
shitty
in
then.
mud.
The mud makes the whole film fall apart. Really.
If you're going to describe how he was covered in mud, how would you describe that?
I would
Pasted?
say it's sort of like what's that thing that happens when like it's like on the internet. It's like you got to click like yes, I'm over 18 years old, and you can like watch videos. And it's usually like one girl, and there's like a bunch of dudes. What's it called? And she's like covered in semen. I forgot what's the word for it.
Love.
Cakes?
Is it a booker?
A book cake. It's a glazing
Yeah,
more than
okay.
anything.
It's a glazing more than
Yeah,
anything.
it's
What does this lady and this donut have in common?
Anyway, yeah, he looks like he's been bukkake. But
Yeah, he's
yes,
a-
absolutely.
There's
But
another
like-
one. Ding.
it also
20
like
to 1.
he's got such a thin spread of mud on him as well, which really fucks me up. Because like before he's like mud. Oh my god, he's just like lathering himself in it, and then like the next thing it's like, has anyone ever been like so poor when they've made a sandwich they've put like the tiniest bit of spread on? Like they're like, and now And now this jar will last me even longer.
It's just with people with Vegemite in general. They just like put that thin spread.
We gotta lay that bitch on. You
Yeah,
gotta
I like it with butter, but
but like you know, like people are like, oh, this peanut butter's gonna last, and they've just like put like smooth peanut butter, like so you already know they're a serial killer.
Yeah, yeah.
And they just put like the thinnest amount on, like a poor mother would, but they still want to give their kids something to take to school. So they're just like, oh, it's a sandwich. No, it's not bread.
I know we're gonna have a bit off
bread.
subject, but like with peanut butter, like my kids had a funny thing. So they take turns to make lunches for everyone, for themselves, for school. And I remember they came home from school one day and they go, "Hey, how'd you just go at school?" I said, "Oh yeah, school's all good. But when Lily made our sandwiches, we just got 2 pieces of bread." So she went to school with this immaculate peanut butter sandwich, and the 2 boys just went to school and had 2 pieces of bread wrapped in Glad wrap.
That's fantastic.
I'm like, did you forget or did you run out? Oh no, I thought I did it. That was it.
She did.
She did not do it.
She knew you'd check the jar and be like, that's 3 people's worth of sandwiches, and she's just got like triple the amount of spread. That's what that is.
I implemented a rule that if you made the sandwich, you couldn't pick it. So
Smart.
it had to get jumbled, and it's like these 2 go in first, pick the sandwich. So every sandwich is perfect now.
That's what my mum did. Like when she made food, she'd be like, "All right, one of you serve up the plate, the other one gets to pick the plate," and those are like the most even motherfucking plates you've ever seen in your
100%.
life.
That's
They're
actually a good way to
immaculate.
sibling. I didn't think you could take peanut butter sandwiches to school anymore. I thought it was like a whole.
Well, I've never
allergy
got a
thing.
note about it. I haven't.
The kids just kept eating it because there's nothing on their sandwiches.
Yeah, they never got caught. The evidence wasn't there.
Is that a peanut butter sandwich? No.
You just go to school eating your peanut butter sandwich. You got a bag full of EpiPens for someone.
But yeah,
Parents pack sandwich
Secret
with
Santa.
EpiPen.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. If you bring a peanut butter sandwich, you got to bring an EpiPen with you.
for the class.
For the one
class.
kid, like 2 grades younger than you, that has a peanut allergy.
But yeah, very thin spread of mud, and that kind of pissed me off because
Yeah.
like
Fuck, we're the worst at segues. Like, just running off course. But no. And the other thing as well, like he's just covered in mud, and like when he first does it, and you're like, he can't see him, and then he, just in case everyone's retarded at home, he goes, "It's the mud." It's like,
Just puts it in his mouth.
like he grabs it and goes like, "The mud." Like,
But Arnie, what is it?
Is the mud? Is the mud?
that hurts as well. It's like, of course, it's the fucking mud, dude. Like, it shows the vision, and the cunt can't see you. Like,
Let's talk about how convenient it is now that we've made that nice big hole in the film. Let's talk about how convenient it is that both the Predator and Arnie go away from each other with just enough time to prepare. Like, they're both like, the Predator goes back, he's like, "I need to heal myself," or whatever the fuck the Predator does in that time, whilst Arnie has time to put together like what I would say is like a better part of like 13 to 15 hours work making all them damn fucking traps. That's not something you do in 5 minutes.
I have a massive gripe. I don't know if you saw my massive gripe about the Predator healing himself.
Oh, wait, yeah, I did see that, yes.
Like where he gets out his like Predator first aid kit.
And before we go to that, the reason I made the dumb gorillas joke before, I was like, I was really expecting to see monkeys in this film, is because when you wrote gorillas on here, you actually wrote gorillas like the apes and not like gorillas.
I did not
Just
put the
so
Z
you know.
on the end as well, just to
No.
make me get.
No.
Okay, I must
It
have
wasn't
got,
the band.
I did.
Yeah,
no,
that was the band.
We were talking
I
about
expected to
primates
see
and
that.
I didn't get me. I was really upset.
I'm feeling fine. I got sunshine.
But yeah, no, I have gripe with this scene. Like, all of this scene annoys the shit out of me. So like, the Predator's healing himself with tools that are made for people with don't have them dumb fuck hands.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look at this thing. This is really easy for me to use. And it's like, how the fuck did those cunts build anything with those dumb hands?
Yeah.
They're like doing some finicky process.
He's only got like the really long fingers with the long fingernails and all, but it's not many fingers.
As he's healing himself with a fucking air gun that's like made for a human hand.
I thought I saw it and I was like, this is the dumbest shit ever, but it's fucking great. He's going,
It's a silicon's his hands back together.
Can we,
No, he's just giving himself a spray tan. Like,
how come no one's mentioned yet that his blood is made of glow sticks and KY jelly?
He's just running around, just cracking glow sticks and running away.
And KY jelly.
Bleeding. Yeah, KY jelly.
It's legit how they made it. They're just like, oh yeah,
just
we had a
put
rave
cock in
party
and
here
it's
before.
Someone leans over and picks it up and like tastes it.
Bukkake leaf. The old glow stick and cum trick.
Yeah. Got him again.
It's blood.
Yeah, what is this? That's predator blood. It all comes back to the Catholic Church. You guys-
I actually have a second gripe, so if I can throw that in anyway. So he's building all this stuff. The guy, the literally creature that hunts by vision, he's building shit by a fire. Like, how the fuck did that cunt not find him? Like, straight, there he is.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I mean, he already knows that his plasma laser rifle thing doesn't work.
Well, it still worked at that stage, didn't it?
No, like it did, but like it does nothing to him. It just gives him little boo boos.
But,
Gives
like,
little boobies,
I don't
yeah.
get the little aiming system on it though. Like it was just this freaking two lines just going over the screen and then just locking on.
It was just like those were scanning.
Yeah.
And if like he got in the middle of a no line,
Yeah.
it would just shoot him.
But it was just, I don't know. It was just weird to me watching it just dance on the screen up. Like randomly at times it was just straight triangle, and then other
I think
times
that's because he like already locked
flipping
on.
around.
Right, he was like, oh, there they are,
yeah.
boom.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
other time it's like it's scanning for him, and then when he gets him, he's like, oh, no line's got him, let's go. And then just like some pew-pews.
But if that thing's automatically locking on a firing, does he need to see the thing dancing
I
around?
don't know how predator technology works.
Yeah. Well,
I know how the Catholic Church's technology works.
this is my thesis.
The scene actually shows how Arnie's like a real hero, though, just to take away from your gun thing.
Yeah.
So instead of being like, fuck yeah, I'm invisible, I'm going to get the fuck out of here to that chopper, he's like, I'm going to fight this cunt.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
he probably thinks like I can't get to the chopper if he'll follow me in my mud costume.
Yeah.
Was the nuke at the end? Was that just
We're
a
not
drawing?
at the end yet, man.
Oh,
Calm
I'm
the
sorry.
fuck
down.
Oh,
Jesus
man.
Christ.
But was it a drawing?
I don't know.
It
I
looks
don't
like
know.
a full.
It kind of looks like a
It
fucking
just looks like a
drawing,
still
yeah.
image.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that old. Oh, that movie. I think it was like the earthquake or something from like the 60s or something.
No fucking idea.
Oh, there was like an elevator scene and it drops, and so everyone in the elevator crashes down. And what they did was the blood splatter was like almost like, you know, the clear sheets that you put on a projector, like they used to be in schools, like the clear sheets,
Yeah.
but it's just a drawing of blood and just comes at the screen, and it just looked like shit. And that's what I thought that looked like. It was like they
It's
just
fantastic fucking.
So they
film.
already had an explosion on those clear sheets, and they're like, and then someone just moves the
over the cell
explosion
or whatever it is.
up.
And then the
And
jets
someone's doing little
come.
ducky signs over like the top of the projector.
Yeah. They're like, and
projection.
this is a bunny rabbit. They're doing the hand sign for a bunny rabbit.
Yeah, I did not mean to rush to the finish there, but
Hey, look, that's okay.
It's probably
Sometimes
some men have this issue, bro. That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's pills for it now, bro.
I expected that it to last a lot longer, but
Yeah,
it
so
finished
did
quite
they.
early.
The next point I think it's up for debate. We're good with the traps and that we've sort of spoken about that.
I mean, it's fucking stupid.
I really wanted to see him use the Home Alone, the 3 spikes that the Predator. He's like, oh,
wait, let me just.
yes, this part, yes.
Just that you're like asking about pop culture before, but I just had a moment where we're talking about the traps. Home Alone was essentially like set up as Predator, but like it was made
For the
after.
Catholic Church.
Like when they built Home Alone, they were like, "Oh, this just imagine." They were pitching the idea. It was like, imagine Predator, but with a kid doing it. Like, just
Imagine.
Just imagine there's a couple of molesters trying to break in.
that's how they pitched the film.
All right, so the
Imagine
Catholic
Predator.
Church are knocking on this door.
Yeah, shh, don't say molesters, it's priests.
Yeah, they're not called priests. They're called wet bandits.
They're the sticky bandits. Thank you very much.
Yeah, after that, yeah.
You get it? Because we're the
They
sticky bandits.
revitalized their image as the sticky bandits.
And we leave blue under things because we're the sticky bandits.
I want fan art of that.
If any of the now 6 people listening are good at fan art, or even just not good at fan art and want to draw it anyway.
Was the 2 that left, were they like priests or something? Did we offend someone?
Look, we just assume there's going to
Likely.
be a lot of inflow. We'll go back to 7, we'll go back to 6, we'll get 9, we'll go back to 8. Like, there's going to be fluctuates.
I feel like if we always expect to not be over 10, we're in a safe zone.
I think so too. That's like 4 to 10 loyal listeners each week.
It's not quite an overestimate, but it's reasonable.
If you're sitting there right now listening and you're like, yeah, it's me. You're a dickhead.
Yeah, Steve,
calls himself a
Mark, Paul, whatever your
I
name
listen
is.
to it too.
You're just going to be listening to it on your phone and your computer like, that's 2 listeners.
And then just turn it off on one.
Downloads.
My phone's offended now.
All right. We're past the traps.
Yes. Yeah.
I just wanted to see the Spike one that
I really
Predator
wanted to see that
used.
work too. Instead, we got the log, which was okay.
The log was fine.
the grenade he threw. Like, he was pretty damn close to that when it blew up. It did
when
nothing.
it stopped, it stopped his invisibility cloak thing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even close to Arnie, I swear he didn't have enough time to scuttle out of that friggin' hole.
He's
'cause it was
fucking Arnold
Dude,
Schwarzenegger.
all
stop.
right.
Jesus Christ. Come on, man.
You're forgetting
Terminator
about
and a governor.
You're forgetting about plot armor
Is
here.
this what happens to your guests? They're the ones who just get ganged up on.
No, there was one where I was ganged up.
Yes.
Is
yes,
it
there
like
was.
the Bukkake-ers and the Bukkake-e?
It's the Bukakos and the Bukakis.
Yeah, that's the one.
I'm going to start introducing instead of co-hosts. It's like, I'm Sam, these are my bukakas,
And this is the Bukaki.
and our bukakis. It's fucking right.
Bukkake of the evening.
Now you're just going to have to go through and edit every single podcast.
It'll just be from this episode onwards. Don't you worry. There'll be continuity.
I've
there.
left my mark.
People are going to be like, damn, these guys are fire. Fuck, we're so lit, boys.
Oh, so good.
Fam. Dab.
We're youthful. All right. So, next thing. The clicky boy. That I think this is a point of contention because I've already had a conversation with Aaron about this. As far as I know, the Predator doesn't talk. It clicks. But
That's his hunting sound, bro.
all of a sudden, he can laugh
But he mimics
Yeah,
the
he
voices
mimics
of other people.
with
on
a
the
helmet on.
Oh,
I didn't know
suppose.
if this was a recording or if it was a mimic.
Because this is the
Doesn't he
Predator
have like
laughing.
the sound analyzer on the side?
Yeah.
But he's got the computer on him. What if that's what's doing it? Oh, no, it actually does come out of his mouth because he is, yeah.
He's like,
The whole
ha,
scene,
ha, ha,
it's
ha.
genuinely laughing. It's like, but
Parrots talk.
So you're saying Predator's a parrot? You heard it here
Well,
first,
maybe.
guys.
know if
Big
the-
vagina mouth parrot.
just trying to work out if that's the only time that you... Because it's just
No.
clicking all the time, which implies that it can't make any other fucking sound. It
So
just clicks.
apparently, Billy, when he like after the big like random gunfight,
when they're
Yeah.
saving the
when they're
hostages.
quote unquote saving hostages.
Sorry, I'm doing air quotes for everyone. at
bunny
home.
ears, air quotes, saving hostages. He starts looking up at the trees, and apparently, just after he gets told the joke by Glasses about like
Vagina.
his vagina joke echo or whatever it was, and he's like, he then hears his own laugh back, and that's when he's like, oh, there's something out there.
Yeah, but that scene was so poorly put together, it didn't make sense.
Oh, I
one
didn't
thing
even even hear it though.
Like, one thing I will say, though, with that laugh that happens at the end, though, it is not the same laugh. It is different.
Yeah, it's a different laugh.
It is a
It's like,
different
It's
laugh,
like the
yeah.
Predator's own laugh, but
Yeah.
the whole time the Predator's been going click, 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 click.
But what is a laugh if not like a series of clicks, Sam? Jesus.
But I mean, there's some languages in the world that are a bunch of clicks.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow.
that
I
is
feel
true.
like-
Like, I'm being proper on that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna be unproper. No.
That was just porn music.
Was that fucking Freestylers by the Bumfuck MCs?
Freestylers.
Rock the microphone.
Bam, bam.
Straight to the top of your door.
I haven't had that in years.
I like how you consider this hearing it.
Yeah, okay, I just got it it was about on par.
Wow, fuck yeah! I remember,
I remember this.
this is my
Turn it
jam.
Can he talk? Can he not talk? Do we know?
I don't think
Is
I don't
there
think
an
he can
answer?
talk. I don't think he talks. I
Well,
think he just mimics.
The
as Aaron was
last scene, when Arnold Schwarzenegger has the rock above his head and he's about to crack it, he's like, "What the hell are you?" And then apparently Predator says, "What the hell are you?" Like emphasis on the U instead of the R. So I feel like it can understand some words, and it's not just mimicking. There's like emphasis behind certain.
I mean, the cunts can
parts
make
of it.
spray guns. I mean, they should be able to talk, right?
We would barely make
if
spray
we-
guns. It's not even suitable for their hands. You know what I mean?
Stupid fucking guns.
But if we were going to go off like how he was listening to things and how he was talking, everything he heard was pitched up. Like when you hear the fight between, like the actual fist fight between him and Arnie, his hearing is pitched up. Like it's all this. So it's like even when he was practicing saying stuff, it was all pitched up. So it could be him. Could be him trying to learn, or trying to talk, or mimic whatever he's hearing. Yeah.
There are some fan theories out there that I was reading last night
really?
that they can understand English and the actual tongue, for lack of better words, is difficult.
Ew. Well, like, I mean, if you think about
Tongue
the
is different.
Donald Glover
For some
sequel,
people.
they say that the
Say
Predators.
Donald Glover sequel.
Oh, you mean?
Fuck
I was
me.
going to say something that I almost.
Fuck me. Yeah, you know what I mean. Jesus Christ.
That Childish Gambino sequel?
So yeah, his movie, right? Like,
It's got Troy and Abed.
yeah,
in
yeah.
there.
Try and Abed fight the Predator. And it's just them fighting priests. I'm so sorry, but I'm going to keep going.
Anyway,
God.
anyway. They said they've been on Earth for a long time. Like they've been on off Earth hunting dinosaurs originally.
Every year, I think they were supposed to come and prove their worth.
Yeah.
That ship that was underground in number 2.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was like Tyrannosaurus skull and shit in there, and then an alien skull,
Sexual
which made like the
Yeah.
it's the universe, and then they cucked out, and yeah.
And then they made that terrible Alien vs. Predator movie.
Yeah, they really fucked that.
Oh,
hey?
yeah. You know the real winner? Humans?
Hey, you remember that movie where like humans are like killing each other and then the winners were cows? Alien vs. Predator 2. Well, that actually was a movie. Alien vs. Predator 3.
It will be a film.
2 was a weird one. I think
I
they
don't
tried to
actually
cram
think I've watched it.
They crammed a lot of shit in it. It was
and it was
I
a
don't
lot
like-
of shit.
Yeah, I don't like either of the Alien vs. Predator movies. Like, love the PC games. They're good fun.
I don't have much else except I think you wrote it as well, but like the way he just walks out of the smoke from like a fucking nuclear
Oh,
explosion
man.
and he's okay.
He's absolutely fine. He just walks out the smoke like he's the Terminator or something. I mean,
He's got like
he
the
is.
half
He
melted
has
off
no
face,
melted
like Terminator
flesh
3.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that thing, like he like sets like a nuclear explosion and he
lady.
runs away 30 meters and he survives that massive explosion. That's
like-
so
like a-
fucking
It was a
nothing.
tiny nuke, just a
Yeah, it
little
was
one.
just a little bitty
just a
one.
little nuke.
Just a little nuke, like
Yeah,
an
it just-
arm-sized nuke, like a wristband nuke.
Okay, so he walks away from that unscathed, and the last thing that I had is that the scene when he's in the helicopter, motherfucker looks dead until he moves his eyes and like looks out over the actual like jungle and shit. He's laying there like a fucking zombie. It looks like he straight up looks dead. If you saw that scene out of context, you'd be like, "Oh, Arnie's dead in this." Until he eventually
That was the
goes,
radiation poisoning.
Yeah. Next sequel, Arnie is zombie?
I've just got like a few things about why this movie is shit. So, first one being the whole concept of this film came about because some people were talking about how the only person Rocky Balboa had yet to fight was E.T.
Yeah.
And so that just like gave someone the idea to write this like shitty script. And it was a speculative script. So they wrote this like, haha, what if? And then someone's taken that script and then sent it into 20th Century Fox.
Man, Rocky would fuck up E.T.
Do you imagine how loose Hollywood used to be? Like, hey, here's a fucking stupid idea. Somebody goes,
how much coke someone
Yeah, I was
was
about
on.
to say.
it's just the envelope that like the script
It's just
comes in. It's
laced.
just cocaine in the bottom of it. And you
Yeah.
pull it out, like, oh fuck yeah!
Oh, another movie script.
Well, finally, I was running low on coke. And like how it was like a fever
like
dream
one
of some
page.
high dudes. It
Just a
accidentally
picture.
got sent in.
Sorry, this is such a joke. The script was just one page and it's just Rocky Balboa punching ET.
And it just says, da, da, da.
But they couldn't get Sylvester Stallone. So like, fuck it, we'll make it slightly different, I guess.
They just said, just draw Arnie's head on it. I don't know.
Someone's like, wait. Just like gets her a razor, just like does it. And it shows the crowd, like shows everyone else.
It's a stick figure, so they've just like they've rubbed out like the arms, and they've put musclier arms, and they're like, "Oh, Arnie, yes."
Perfect.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I imagine that's what the script was. Like,
Sounds about right.
Can someone please just draw that for me so I can use it as art for this episode?
I'll send a message.
And the last thing I had was that the Rebel Camp is now like a place you can visit in Mexico. Like you can go there for like it's a tourist trap now. So you can see where Arnie's like lifted the car off and it's driven off. You can see where all the explosions were. You can see where the girl got like karate chopped or whatever happened to her onto the ground. Like you can see, you can walk through the little village that got sort of like decimated with bullets.
All right. Peter, do you have any other points?
if you like pull it apart, like as I was pulling apart this film, I'm like, this is actually heartbreaking because of like how much I like this film. Like, but fuck me, it's dog shit. That is, I guess, a point I have to put out there. That, like,
I hope you're upset. I hope this upsets you.
No, not as much as a bad drummer does. No, it's
That upsets everybody.
it's all good, bro. One day that episode has to come out to show everyone how your anus just got slapped. Those cheeks got punished.
No, that music is slapping. My cheeks got torn up, son.
No, it's just so many things. It's plot hole heaven, like, and then it's like, why does this happen? Because it just makes the film keep going. Like,
Why did the lady rub blood on her leg? She could have been like, oh man, that's fluoro green blood.
Oh, there's this green stuff on the fucking leaf.
How did nobody see the green blood on the woman?
Yeah,
how did no one
it is
see it near her?
fluorescent.
They're looking at her.
Yeah.
And they're just like, hey, let's get her. And they're
Where's
like,
the girl?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, with how
near the glowing green thing.
well, with how fluorescent it was, like, and she's like sitting like on the ground squatting, it just reflect fucking green at her. It's like you didn't see this hue around her.
And she's like, oh, by the way,
Spooky aliens.
Spooky aliens got green blood.
yeah, it's just so much like
The forest has green blood.
you can tell like they literally wrote this script as they were doing it. Like it is just. Why does this happen? Because like this chick can't speak English. Oh, now she can because she can tell a story.
She
about,
doesn't want to speak that pig language from other countries.
oh man, I do have like a million things that I found wrong with it. Like actually, one thing that as you all know, and I mentioned that I always watch movies with subtitles. As
Because English is not your first language.
In
Yes.
subtitles as well.
Yeah. So as they're shooting up that fucking camp, it's like they can't figure out if what language the
It
baddies
just comes
are.
up Russian and Spanish.
Speaking Russian, speaking Spanish. Like, what are they? Like, they all look Mexican.
Well,
like,
no, they in the actual movie they do say that like something's not right here. There's Russians, there's people like
Spaniards.
there's Spaniards, there's like everyone's here. Like this isn't just a simple like guerrilla outfit. This is like a team of something.
And then we
where
just
the
forget
fuck do
it.
they say that?
right after the chick
Dylan, you
appears
son of a
anywhere.
bitch.
Yeah, it's definitely after the Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Actually, there's like a
they've
bit.
just done the bullet bukkake and ding.
yeah.
And
and
they're
he's
going,
like,
and
"This
they're
is a
going through the
gold mine."
paperwork. And then and then when he's like, "This is a gold mine," he sees one of the team, one of the SEAL 6 team, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Green Berets.
And yeah, they mentioned that there was like it can't be guerrillas because there's like Russians and it's a group of people.
You serious? I fucking completely. Did you get that?
No, I missed a little bit of it too. That, but like we're talking about subtitles, right?
Yeah.
And then like earlier on, we were talking about like Arnie and his like moment where he has to act, and there's like a bit where he's holding like Dylan. You know, he's like drop us 6 of us in the meat grinder, and he goes, and it comes up scoffs.
Fuck, it sounds like I need to watch this film again with subtitles.
But this is the joy. Like I've got a As well, you three know, I've got a foreign partner. Like she's Japanese, so we watch everything.
She's Russian, actually.
She's
Secret,
Russian, dude.
yeah. But so we watch everything subtitles.
When that Russian part came, she knew what they were
She
saying.
was just
did.
nodding like, oh, this is going to get good.
Yeah, she pulled out like I don't think Morse code's Russian, but she's just sending messages back to Russia.
All right, so I think we've dished the shit we need to dish. Let's go into a couple of questions. Let's have some little chats about some other things here. So, how could we change one thing in the film to make it better?
Write a script.
That was quick.
You didn't even wait to get picked. You're just like, script writing, have one.
Just write it. And instead of like trying to con shame,
It
like
wasn't
doing it.
Transformers 2, man. It was better than that, all right?
Did they have no script for that, or are you just
I feel like they
bagging
just had
out
no
on?
script. No, I know that was during the writer's block, so it was just like, let's just blow shit up and put
Is
things
this
in
the one
desert.
where they had sock glitter and they resurrected Optimus Prime with sock
I think
glitter?
that might be the one. So
that
they're in the
fucked
desert
me
for a
up.
bunch. I didn't finish
Yeah,
it.
they're in the desert and like they get the Allspark and it turns
that's right,
into
Rise of the Fallen.
glitter.
Yeah, right.
And then they just go like, I have nothing to put this glitter in. I guess I'll use my sock. And then Optimus Prime's dead in like a weird cave somewhere. And they're just like, he's like, no, you can't. Wait, I have the sock glitter. And he just like pours the glitter out of his sock into Optimus Prime. It's just like, I breathe life again. It was a time.
Well, I'm glad that that's not what we got from Predator.
Yeah.
Anyway, Arnie whips out some sock glitter. throws it straight at him. Predator's like, I am alive again.
The problem with sock glitter is I feel like it's like your way of saying like dried up cum flakes.
I was just thinking like,
mean, you haven't even read my...
yeah. I was thinking like a prison
sock,
mace.
Sam, not that sock.
Yeah, it's his left sock, not the right one.
Sam Webwiki.
That seems to be like a joke only Americans get, because I think only Americans seem to jerk off with their sock.
I don't
understood
understand
why.
that.
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know. It's just like, it's always in American movies. Like, no one's ever like, oh, you see that British comedy where the dude jerked off with a sock? Like, no.
British comedy, the American comedy where the dude jerked off with the
Yeah, no,
sock.
that's what I said. Like, no one's seen it in the
right,
British.
sorry,
yeah.
yeah, okay,
But what's comfortable about jerking off into a sock? I mean, like...
Nothing.
I don't know.
I don't have a foot fetish, let alone my feet.
I guess it's just the equivalent of like jerking off into a condom. Like, no
Oh,
mess.
French pull? No, I'd much prefer a French pull.
Do you ever get that thing where it's like, where do I put this now?
Your dick? Or like...
The leftovers. It comes
Ryan's
out.
always like,
What do I do with this?
Well, if Jesse Ventura's there, he would make you swallow it.
That's what's got all these priests in trouble, man.
Yeah, where do I put this?
And it all comes back to predators, man. The Catholic Church. People are going to be like, Aaron got diddled by a priest for sure. And I'm legally not allowed to mention that.
In a settlement outside of court?
Peter's like, oh, I get what he's saying.
what would you change, Aaron, if you could make it better?
To make it better,
Yeah.
this is sort of like a mix of two questions that you will ask.
Yeah, because you're talking about the comedy one as well.
The antagonist.
Oh, the answer. Okay, cool. Okay.
So I would change the Predator to be Jean-Claude Van Damme in his red suit, but not edit him out.
Just that sweet red box.
Just that like bright red suit and
Just a
him
red
like
morph suit everywhere.
having a really hard time walking everywhere. Like, and just seeing his angry face. Yeah. Like, they're like, look how spooky he is, but really it's just him pissed off that he can't fight Arnold Schwarzenegger. But like,
That's the
they
twist
they
at the end of the
made-
Can't do
movie.
kung fu in the suit. Like,
Yeah, and they just made him like, they're like, no, he's not angry, that's just an alien face.
He has got a brick of a face, that fella.
That
Yeah.
did answer 3 of my questions because I did have. How would you change one thing to make it better?
Yep.
If you could recast the protagonist, antagonist for comedic effect, who and how would you recast? And
Yep.
then if this film was a comedy, what would you change?
I mean, what a happy little coincidence, guys. I just knocked all 3 out. One answer.
Wasn't in was it Total Recall? There's like a part where Arnie's like walking past like a movie theater, and then there's a whole bunch of posters of Arnie's movies, but they've edited in Sylvester Stallone.
Is that Total Recall? Or
Oh
is
no, that might
Last
be.
Action
No,
Hero?
I mixed it up.
Yeah.
It's the other way around, I think. Anyway, it's one of those movies. They edited them the back or the other way around. Might not have been Total Recall. Might have actually been. Yeah, I'm mixing up all my action movies. So they
all right.
kind of blend together.
There's only one action movie and it's Predator.
Yeah.
Ryan, if you could change one thing about it to make it better, do you have an answer?
Oh, I just love the idea of the mental image of like Sylvester Stallone punching Sylvester Stallone punching the shit out of ET. That sounds great. Just ouch.
To answer.
He's just got a big bloated black eye on him.
So Ryan's answer to the 3 questions is he would change the antagonist and protagonist to Sylvester Stallone and E.T. And that would also make it a comedy.
We did it.
Just imagine like them talking. He's just like, "What the hell are you?" And then he's like, "What the hell are you?"
Oh, you actually did a pretty solid Lord Commander from Final Space then.
Oh, nice. I haven't seen Final Space. This means nothing to me.
Oh, well,
Friggin' E.T. just dries out like a turd and fucking Sylvester Stallone just smashes his face.
there are 2 films that I want to see. Yeah. Well, it's just, throwing it out there to both of you.
one?
That's 2 films I want to see.
Oh yeah,
Both your film and Ryan's one. I want to see both of those.
And you just went with a script.
But like,
No one wants to see a script apparently.
But if you had like Sylvester, or like, let's say it was like Rocky versus E.T., like, who do you? Do you feel sorry for E.T.?
No, you feel sorry. You feel sorry for Rocky because E.T. is going to whoop some ass.
Yeah, it's gonna scuttle around and poke his glowing finger up his
Sylvester
ass.
Stallone starts whooping some ass, right?
Yeah.
And then E.T.'s getting knocked to the ground. E.T. like is just down for the count. Sylvester's like, Julian. And then like, Adrian, not Julian, yeah. And then like E.T. pops up and he's like, I don't hear no bell ring.
Wasn't that like a?
And he's like, you're the best. Just never gonna keep it down. You're the best. And it's just like E.T. throwing like weird gangly punches.
Yeah.
With Eye of the Tiger. Dang,
Yeah.
dang, dang. The montage.
And then somehow E.T.'s pants fall down. And then he
his
wins
legs
the
that
day.
aren't really.
Yeah, he got short legs, but it's all right. He shouldn't even be wearing pants, but it's like a prerequisite for boxing.
Yeah.
It's a Rocky movie now.
There's like, I still remember that like Family Guy thing where it's like, they're talking about like Rocky, I think it was like Rocky 7. They're making the joke, but it's like, oh, Rocky, you can't fight the Martians. There's no air on Mars. He's like, well, that means there's no air for him neither. And then they actually made a Rocky 7. It was not that. I'm very disappointed.
They didn't even go to Mars.
No.
Fucking rip.
I was trying to think of like one thing that I could change, and then like you guys sort of gave me the inspiration for it. And that's
We are
that
very inspiring.
I would have Kevin Spacey play the Predator.
And Timmy from Jurassic Park.
I was going to say Macaulay Culkin because Home Alone references and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be my goal. It would be Kevin Spacey as the Predator.
That wouldn't be much of a comedy, though. I mean, like, Kevin Spacey doesn't really do comedies.
Well, this is
His life is pretty much one now, but
yeah, true.
We would find comedy in it.
Yeah.
That's
That's actually 7 was pretty funny. No, it wasn't. It was a good movie. What a thriller.
I just want to let everyone know that just before I recently jumped onto the internet to see how much it costs to get one of those little store bells to ding.
Oh,
yeah.
They're $18 at office work, so I'll get one on my day off.
Fuck yeah.
Sounds good to me.
$18.
Oh,
Are you just going to like sample it once and that's it?
Hell's no, it's going to be on the table. Every time we do it, we hit the bell.
The fucking
You need
boot
like
bell.
like an additional mic that just sits pointing, like a 57. Like
Oh,
just
those
pointing
things
at it.
travel, though.
Yeah, we don't need different
No,
instructions.
but
We
it
do
needs
one.
it. So it just
I am
peaks
so
every time.
glad that something I said is going to stay.
It's canon now,
Yeah,
bro.
it's canon now.
We got the
book
book bell and bookers and the bookies. Thank you, Ryan.
See, this is why I like.
This is growth as a business, really.
Yeah, that's right. It's when you
What
get
an
where
endeavor. I'm so glad we're all on this boat
you
together.
can tell I got a Japanese partner.
Not one octopus came into this, but thank you.
That's it.
There's no tentacles
Octopus.
here, bro.
Yeah, that's it.
How does that work at home?
Holy shit.
Caught you off guard a bit, Aaron.
Yeah, that one did. That was good.
Okay, so The dumbest, longest thing I've ever written is if Tim Burton was holding the cold metal muzzle of a Helena Bonham Carter to your head, threatening to blow your brains across the room if you don't get a tattoo of a line from this film in the next 5 minutes, what line would you get tattooed on you?
Can I go first just so I can go to the bathroom?
You can.
All right, so mine would absolutely be Dylan, you son of a bitch, and it's going to have the two muscly arms, but it's either going to be that, like a big back piece, because I'm a big back piece guy, or it's going to be like on like down one of my like forearms that was just like, if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Yeah. I was going to say like you put that on your dick or something like that. If it bleeds, we can kill it.
Nah, that's just...
Oof.
That's just false advertising.
And I feel like that's like the tattoo you find on the priest. Like when the priest is like, now my child. And you're like, oh, that's a nice tattoo.
Let me give you the blood of Christ.
Shits on the Catholic Church, and now he's like, fucking yes.
He's like, Catholic Church, let's go. And that would be my tattoo.
Excellent, thank you, Aaron. Peter. If Tim Burton was holding the cold metal muzzle of Helena Bonham Carter to your head, threatening to blow your brains across the room if you don't get a tattoo of a line from this film in the next 5 minutes, what line would it be?
I'm tying up between two. So it's obviously like the get to the chopper, or it's like stick around. And it's just like it's just a stick with stick around and around.
That's good.
That's fucking awful. Jesus, fuck, that's awful.
Oh, man.
Yes, but it's like tattoos are meaningful, bro. So like, you know, I need something that really speaks to
Like, I am not a tattoo guy, and I'm going to have to really rack my brain for this one.
Okay.
Is that on your asshole? Around it?
I just like how long this scream is, just real quick.
Can you get that?
It's so long. That could be a back piece.
Yeah, and just a picture of mine.
In front of it, it's just got Arnie is like holding up the torch, everything that Ryan said. Yeah.
That'd be great. I like that.
Oh, that's the back piece. That is the back piece.
Yeah, that is good. By the end of it, someone is just going to have like full sleeves of just fucking Predator quotes.
It's just
Just up and down.
We need to start tallying something so that like the end of like this first year, one of us has to go and get that tattoo, like one of the tattoos. No, just a tattoo that we said we'd get in this dumb comment section.
Man, I've had a lot of shitty ideas, and I've already got a lot of shitty tattoos. Like, I feel like if y'all are paying for it, maybe.
Maybe that could be like the Patreon thing.
Yeah, whoever biggest donor gets to pick what tattoo.
From what like one of Aaron's lines that he said he'd get tattooed on him, you get to pick which one.
Yeah, but not like you can't pick where. All right, like I'm not getting a tattoo on my forehead. That was just like if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Did you miss like that last one though? It was like that they getting him going like, oh.
Yeah, I know.
But it's like just tattooed on the back, like, and it's just the H's just keep you on going for ages, like all the way down your back.
Yeah, Arnie and
I did
and
like that one
Mudface
and your
with-
stick one. I thought that one was good too.
Yeah, stick one was great.
All right. I mean, I'm not going to go through any of the other questions because we sort of answered them with our character things. So I can maybe change those questions sort of into just one thing.
Yeah, most of mine are going to be for laughs or shock value. So
Yeah. And speaking of shock value, it's time for fan fiction.
Oh my god! All right, I've got a good one for everyone listening.
Now, Aaron, you're going to preface this for us, right? Give us a bit of
Yes,
context.
yes,
as to what's
absolutely.
happening.
So this is the scene where Dutch and the Predator are fighting. Like where Predator's like ripped his armor off. They are about to whoop some ass, and I'm going to use that term very liberally. And essentially, the Predator has cornered and grabbed Dutch, and there has already been some, from what I will call light petting to heavy fingering of his delicate back door. I do
I
believe
think one thing that's worth noting is that a lot of the time we have to cut these fan fictions down because there's so much content that's written.
That we don't even
Just
want
give
to
us
blow
a
their
quick brief
load.
of like how many words you had in some of your things.
I mean, like, there have been some where there were, like, over 100,000 words. This
Fuck.
particular one was a very short one, considering this was like 7,000 words.
Far
I
out.
have knocked
So
it
it's like
down.
Michael 1 to 10 or something like that.
Yeah, like it's. Oh, thank you for the Catholic reference.
Do you ever get like some? Like, I don't know if you've done a reading like this before, but like, do you ever get the ones where where they've got like it's certain actors, you just pass it around the table. Underneath your table is your script. And
No,
then
we
you
haven't done that
We've
yet.
spoken about doing that, having someone narrate and having other people talk.
That'd be so good.
For now, they're just sticking with me doing very shitty impersonations of everybody.
Which is pretty good because Aaron does a solid Arnold Schwarzenegger.
For legal reasons, those are jokes. I don't do a good
I was
For
convinced.
tonight's challenge, I need you to give me a note between A and G.
Let's pretend I don't know anything about
Do
these.
you know the alphabet though?
I do.
Okay, give me a letter between A and G.
Well, I'm going to go C.
Done.
Yeah.
You're
Ooh.
giving you the key of C to play? That's so easy.
All right. Well, let's go G.
Okay.
So what's a hard one then? What's a hard one? Give me a hard one.
7.
Yeah, can you play it in key
Is there like-
7 minor, please?
Like a seventh minor?
A sharp.
I don't know.
A sharp minor.
Okay.
Look, there's going to be a lot of sharp minors in this particular one. Fingers don't count.
Whoa, that's a good one. That's a good one.
All right,
is good.
so essentially, Arnie's already had a few digits in his anus at this point,
Oh, they're big fingers.
and I'm going to go for another 5 pages. So lock yourself in. This one's a long. This one's a long one. Are you prepared to play for a good?
Like probably 10
I
Ten
need
minutes.
to
minutes?
like invest in like a sustain pedal so I can just do this and just like walk away.
Oh, so you get
Just
to walk
bring
away,
your
and I get to
sustain pedal
read.
from home.
I get to read weird
I want
xenomorph porn. All right,
Wait, that's not A1. Sorry.
yell out when you're ready. I can barely hear this, so I'm just
The-
gonna
the
go.
music.
Yep. That's a
That's
little better.
pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. All right. His hands gripped his shoulders once more, and Dutch took in a nervous breath as he felt the thing's hard member pressed up against his back. He couldn't imagine being stretched large enough to accommodate that whole thing, but even as his mind wandered in that direction, his heartbeat sped up at the prospect. He felt strong hands slide under his muscled legs, and he was lifted into the air with ease of something like a feather. He looked down to see an erect, spotted penis beneath it, a large head just as threatening as it had been when he had first seen it. One of his legs were released and rested on the creature's arms as it slid its hand underneath, grasping its dick firmly. Dutch froze, feeling the hot breath of his captor against his neck as he thought, as he said through gritted teeth, "You think you get..." Oh, hang on, I'm going to try and get
That
this
was a
voice.
Rocky then. We changed it.
Hang on, here's...
Got to the top.
Yeah, exactly.
You think you can just sit here and let you do that?
That's bad, I'm sorry. The remaining hand still gripped his leg, tightening and let out a gasp, knowing that it would leave a bruise behind. The vice-like strength was unbelievable, and it finally got the message across to Dutch's brain. He was this creature's bitch, and it would do whatever it liked with him. He could struggle, but then it would just tie him up again, or throw him back over the log. At least his current position was comfortable, and he'd be lying if he said, for however anxious he was about that dick sliding in him, he also harbored a spark of excitement. He was someone who'd always liked to push his limits, after all. Okay. Sorry. Okay. No, these are all bad.
Okay.
See, they're all bad. They're all bad. Okay, he finally grunted out, allowing himself to relax as best as he could, leaning his body
you just
against the
instead
mass
just
of
do
his
Sylvester
muscle
Stallone?
behind him.
Just do Sylvester Stallone instead.
Yeah, just do it. It's canon.
Or Jerry Seinfeld. It's up to you.
Can I do Jerry Seinfeld?
Yeah, absolutely. You can. Yeah.
Oh no! Change the tune.
You win! There was a pleased growl as Dutch glanced down, closing his eyes as he saw the predator navigating the tip of his member towards his shaking hole. He felt it pressed down. Seconds later, he took a gasp of air. He had no idea how that whole thing was going to get inside of him as he gritted his teeth, as he felt himself fearing for what would be about to happen. The motion was swift, and he let out a cry as the creature forced him down, the entire head of his dick sliding into his tight asshole. He groaned, throwing back his head as he felt the skitter of those mandibles against his neck. It was so fucking large. The predator didn't even seem to be giving him too much time to adjust. He just felt it slide down further into the thickened erection, his asshole pluckering outwards as it stretched over the first intimidating ridge. Then, with a jerk, the dick popped free from him and he let out a moan as his eyes shot open. The creature had pulled out, but it seemed it didn't intend to keep it that way. With a growl, he slid his member back, shoving the tip back into his hole. He bucked, arms shooting out behind him to steady himself on his shoulders as it forced his dick back out. Dutch gritted his teeth, sweat rolling down his muscled body as he felt his arsehole twitching in anticipation. He would not break, he swore to himself, as the tip once violated him before pulling free. His arsehole was on fire. His fully erect dick waved like the flag of surrender in front of him as the one small creature thrust into him, seemingly intent on playing with him rather than just letting him take the brunt of what's to come. Just put it in, you fucker, he dissed us. Through clenched teeth. He may have asked for it, but that didn't stop the yelp of alarm and distress as the cock was suddenly shoved in his arsehole, suctioning up over the first ridge. The creature allowed it to stop there, and Dutch stared down, coming to the alarming realization that only about a quarter of the creature's length was in him. It was, of course, not including the dangerous-looking knot at the very back. He squirmed as the creature slowly pulled out, allowing him to feel the full width of that first ridge. He let out a holler as he felt his asshole expand far past the point he thought it was possible for him to go without breaking. He took a sharp breath as he let it slide out, the tip once more, the only thing inserted in him. He took a deep breath as the creature pressed down again. He could feel it in his grip. It wasn't going to stop this time. He took every inch of his cock. He felt the thick thing shove deeper and deeper inside of him as he slid down the 3 ridges in shuddering jolts. He gritted his teeth at the last one, feeling as though his ass was bursting at the seams. He couldn't hold back the slurry of whimpers and moans that finally broke free from him as he grabbed hard onto the creature behind him, his breath coming in heavy pants. Shit, you're so big, he said through gritted teeth. God damn you, alien fucker, of course you'd come with a size larger than everything, he thought to himself. Sounds from behind might have been laughter, but Dutch's mind was far too consumed to consider that right now. He let out a moan as he was lifted up and down, his ass bulging with the strain of what plummeted in his insides. The predator had moved. While this was happening, its back now resting against the support of a tree. Maybe it was getting tired, Dutch thought as the sweat trickled down his body. He knew he was. Even the thick member moved in out of Dutch was painfully aware of one singular fact. The thick and throbbing knot he'd seen had still not been shoved into him. His ass had slid up and down every one of those ridges, but not that knot. He knew he would have to have known that if it had gone into him. Regardless, he was far beyond controlling the noises that came out of his mouth as well. He whimpered and whined with every strike of this massive member inside of him, his muscled body shaking. It was like he was a toothpick to this thing, and he wondered if this was the one particularly strong, or if there were a whole fucking species that were just the giant and muscled nightmares. He finally felt the pounding slow. As he was eased downward, he counted the ridges as they came. 1, 2, 3. His asshole pressed up against something hard. He didn't need to be told exactly what it was. He took an inhale of breath as he felt the mandibles, which had now been nibbling at his neck, give a sharp bite to his shoulder. He took in a breath as he shook his sweet covered head. Oh wait. Oh shit. He didn't bother asking the creature behind him to stop. The creature paused before a sudden motion had allowed him to collapse in a sweaty heap on the ground. Dutch lifted himself onto his arms, his whole body feeling like it was made of jelly. He heard branches crunching as the creature bent down. Drink break. Oh my god. A hand gripped his shoulder tightly as he was yanked into his front. The massive beast hovered over him, and he found himself staring into his face. Its eyes were narrowed, head over the tile to the side, like the mandibles which seemed to switch with motion. It was squatting over him. It reached forward slightly, caressing Dutch's aching dick. A single touch was all it needed, and a plume of white flew from it. Dutch felt it splat on his chest and wondered how many times he'd been forced to come before all this was over. Then he felt his hands grab his leg, and all at once they were forced up in the air, his ass pointed in the air. The predator slid back in his open asshole with ease as he moaned the entire length of the thing buried inside of him, before once again stopping at that thick knot. He stared at the speckled black thing before looking upwards at the face above him. An expression that could not have been anything but smug was on it, and he realized that the bastard wanted him to watch. His face flushed with a deep red, and at this time was not just from the blood rushing to his head. "Fuck you," he moaned as he breathed voicelessly. The predator tilted his head before leaning in. "Fuck you," it growled back as it seemed to be getting the hang of human speech a tad bit better now. And the words were so close to his own that it caused his eyes to widen with alarm. This alarm was quickly overwhelmed as he watched the thick knot slowly pressing down. He fought to control his breathing, taking deep breaths as he watched this thing press down more and more forcefully. He could feel himself spreading out, but it wasn't like before, now that it took all of his concentration not to beg for mercy as he watched that thick bit of flesh pressed into him with ever-widening eyes. He took in a strange gasp as he watched the knot slowly beginning to slip inside of him. To his credit, the predator was taking this slow. It eased his way down as Dutch took in the grasp of air and gasped for even more air. Alright, that's twice, cool. His whole body shook as the massive knot demanded entry inside of his tight entrance. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Oh, fuck. Oh. Yeah, alright, cool, I'm getting close. Dutch's head snapped back even though he did hear the demanding growl. He lifted his head, gritted his teeth, and realized that he was halfway there. The damn thing was almost inside of him. Almost. Then the creature shoved down and put an unhindered howl that finally buried himself inside of him. He felt the base pressed up against his aching ass, and as it did, one of his legs was freed, the pressure returning to his cock. He squirmed even as he did his best to stay while the predator slid his hands up and down his once more hardened member. He couldn't imagine what it was going to feel like to take the damn thing out, yet at the same time, the sheer size was all just so humbling. His hands dug into the ground as he planted his... Sorry.
You can just call it there, Jesus Christ.
There's still 2 pages left, mate.
I mean, if you want to keep going, you can.
Don't. I really don't.
Just skip to the end.
Yeah, just get us to the cum shot.
That's what we normally do.
Alright.
This is where you skip between like the foreplay to like.
I have to quickly read where...
When you fast forward past the blowjob.
Yeah.
Where like the monkey comes in. I mean.
Look, a lot of this is just like him very confused he's not killing him, so I'm going to fast forward a page and a half and it goes... Dutch turned on his heel, supposing he should probably find his way out and flag down that chopper.
So what was it? Jean-Claude Van Damme in his red suit comes out.
Man, there was a lot more left in this 2 pages. Can I just say, not the best one I've read, but definitely the hardest one to read.
I felt like as you're reading it while I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I was like, man, who fucking goes this deep into this shit? Damn.
So
like,
that one was called
passion.
oh fuck, I forgot what it was actually called.
Yeah, we should probably credit the writer.
It's a fucking novel, man.
Oh, What Happens in the Jungle Stays in the Jungle is what that was called.
And who's it by?
I can't actually remember off the top of my head. We will link it at some stage.
Yeah.
It was from adultfanfiction.org.
.org.
Yeah, it's
Just a happy thing. If they ever need me to like to do the soundtrack for that film when they want to release it, I'm here. Like,
oh man.
I tried to like make the drama happen, and it just kept going. I'm like, fuck, it's like something gonna happen.
Oh,
here?
man,
I just noticed it kept getting higher and higher and higher.
It's all high. You're running up the peak essentially.
Yeah,
I've run out of keys. I better pitch bend.
yeah.
Oh, it like almost started to sound like you were playing in the cathedral.
Wow. Some people might like that.
Oh man, next one I have to find shorter ones, or at least just get like a snippet of, because
Yeah, I reckon like we need to start like getting one, condensing it down, putting our own spin on it. And if you can't do the accent from now on, we just change the character to Jerry Seinfeld. I'm 100% down with this.
Like starring like Jerry Seinfeld as Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right, to summarize, the film itself has inconsistencies with reality, whether it be they can clearly hear each other in the helicopter, to unlimited clips in their guns,
It's called God mode, bro.
to being able to make mud make you invisible to heat vision.
Magic mud, yes.
I'm surprised
Plot
Tony didn't do
armor, I
no
believe
clip
they
or
call that
something.
plot armor.
Plot armor. The film, I'm just throwing this next on my dick. Animal abuse. Mm-hmm. They fail at saving hostages. Instead, they just annihilate everybody. That whole scene is basically just one big Team America joke.
Fuck yeah.
There was no intel taken at all. They just went
No,
in
they
there.
did.
Dylan got
They
something
did
for
take
it, yeah.
intel. Yeah.
And they took a woman.
Jeez,
out.
the two
Dylan
subtitle
died.
guys missed a lot of shit.
Come on. The action sequences, I mean, technically just that action sequence, I think, is really badly edited. The girl is completely pointless. The film exists.
Side boob.
The film only exists because
So offended by that.
Tasteful side boob.
the film only exists because Rocky hadn't fought E.T. yet. The Annihilation Camp is now a tourist attraction. How did nobody see the green glowing fucking blood? There's enough testosterone in the film to shrink your testicles. The whole film falls apart when you think about it. And like we've already said, mud won't hide heat vision.
Can I just say, no one's actually mentioned like the testosterone small balls except you. Like no one had was just like, and your balls get small. You're just like straight up from the mark. You're just like, who wants to watch this movie and get really big but tiny balls?
My balls are massive, so I've been watching it a lot to try and shrink them. That's the
You
I
like,
want to
play
change
while
my
you're
pant
sleeping.
size, starting with my testicles.
Oh, I forgot one thing. Sorry. So all those things and Jesse Ventura.
Is human garbage. I quote me on it.
Another random thing off point.
I can never summarize. I know. Summarize and close because I always get shit thrown at me.
Because it's just this random. I have this vision in my head because it's like it's literally like a shot when old mate gets his arm blown off and the gun's just firing and his finger's not on the trigger. Like that just keeps running through my head. And I'm like, I have to mention it. And we have to mention it now.
Psychic bullets.
Psychic bullets.
Yeah, psychic bullets.
Little Richard, long tall Sally. That's all. It's banger.
Oh, and one more thing. Sorry. So when the two dudes are like, okay, I've got a plan. You go up there and we're going to flush him out this way, right? And they're going to flush this invisible dude out, right? So the two dudes are like, we're going to flush this guy out, but we're both going to fire at the invisible guy.
At each other.
Yeah. How does that work in any plan ever?
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
That's the one. There you go, Sam. There's your tagline.
All right. So now what we do is you just write them all down and then do it again.
Okay, I'm going to do it again. That's what I'm going to do.
Oh, you're not going to keep this?
That's great. Because that's a mix between the masturbation and crickets.
Masturbation and crickets.
I've always wondered what that sounded like, and now I know.
You didn't put the crickets back on.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yep.
So, for all of its greatness, for all of its muscle man ab scene stuff in this film, there are inconsistencies with reality. There is animal abuse. They cannot save people. Instead, they just blow everybody the fuck up. There is badly edited action sequences. There's a female who is pointless unless you're Ryan. The film exists because someone was like, hey man, Rocky hasn't fought E.T. yet. The Annihilation Camp is now a tourist attraction. The mud won't fucking hide you from heat vision. Nobody saw the fucking blood. Jesse Ventura. Fucking Dylan's arm being blown off wouldn't be firing the gun. For all these reasons, it's safe to say the Predator...
It's a bit shady. It's a bit shady.
thank you so much for listening to another episode of It's a Bit Shit. We really hope you're enjoying the podcast. This is one of the first episodes we sort of did a lot less editing and just kept the whole thing a little bit more flowy and clean. Obviously, we cut little bits out here and there, but that's generally when we go to the bathroom or we take a quick break or something like that. The rest of it remains largely unedited, hence the runtime of this episode, which I think is almost close to 2 hours at this point. So if you enjoyed that, let us know. If you do prefer the shorter format episodes, also let us know. It's sort of just us experimenting, working out really what works for you, the listener, because we can cut them down to half an hour if it's too much for you, or we can let it go for 2.5 hours. We really aren't sure what is the preferred way to do it. And not that there should be a perfect way, we're just trying to sort of refine that process. But thank you so much for listening. Thank you to everyone who's been getting engaged on the Facebook and the Instagrams and stuff like that. We definitely do hear you, and we've seen some of the recommendations you've given us, and believe me, those things are definitely on our list. But by no means does that mean stop telling us what to do, because, God, we just want you to tell us what to do so badly. So to wrap up my post-show chat, I want to thank Ryan for coming on. Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. It was a good time, and we'll definitely have you on again. Sooner or later, we are going to run out of friends to call in to come and hang out with us, so we'll just start recycling guests or pulling people off the street. Probably pulling people off the street. I think that works better for us. And last but very much not least, we want to thank you, the listener, for listening. That's in a nutshell. That's the best thing you can do for us. Share it with your friends, listen to the podcast, enjoy it, tell us what you enjoy about it, and then also tell your 14-year-old son about it as well, because that's definitely appropriate. So thanks again for listening. Please do the whole review, subscribe, follow, share, the internet stuff. We're hip, we're with it, we're cool. Next episode is about dinosaurs. We'll let you pick what movie that might be, but it's about dinosaurs. So get ready, and thanks for listening.